Long live, ooh, long live the habitual line steppers. Welcome to another Smoke Show Sunday. I don't know, I've been doing this about 10, 11 weeks. And, we want this to become a thing around the space. So, for those of you who were here before I went on the air, I hope that you're still here or you can come back and be a part of the replay gang. So, let's call you guys off. We got Prepper 101. He said, if I don't make the show, please tell Mary Jane I said hello. Already, already. Bill Brad, RPM, what is up? He said fire. Dr. Thunder, what's good? Said salute, let's smoke. Yep, Toya, member of the channel, is ready for the smoke. So is D Scott. Phil Brad, wow. I mean, just what I would say is, just stick to your guns, buddy. uh, yeah, that was pretty crazy what you just said, but okay, we got all kinds of people watching here, and yeah, I'm not in a good, I'm not in a real good mood. I'm not. I mean, I'm always excited to be here, and everything is cool with my personal life. Raven Knight was going on, but like earlier that shit was fucked up. You never want any kind of broadcast or anything you present to your subscribers on YouTube go wrong, and I made a mistake. I uploaded the broadcast through StreamYard instead of just sending it straight to YouTube. So yeah, it started buffering badly during the broadcast, and just kind of messed it up for whoever was watching. So I do not anticipate these things will happen. Um, but I do take accountability for it. I kind of was doing things in a rush. I should have made sure that I could produce the best product possible for whoever decides to listen to these live broadcasts and uploads from time to time. So I really appreciate that. But I did re-upload the broadcast, and some of you caught it. So for those of you who are currently here and was here earlier and saw the buffering and StreamYard's drastic limitations, I did re-upload it. I wouldn't say it was one of my best rants about anything. There's over 800 some broadcasts on this channel. It's like wow, but hey, it's got some stuff in it. So if you want to check it out, that's fine. Uh, yeah, Phil Brad said he saw it. Yeah, I just not that was not cool. Yeah, but can't dwell in the past. It's re-uploaded, and everybody who wants to watch it can go watch it. But I want y'all watching here. Smoke Show. Let me call out my members first before we get started. Thank you for being a part of this channel. We have D. Scott, Greg, Aaron Peters, Phil Brad, the Scarlet Spider. I think he used to be named Creed Fan Forever, but he changed it. Dez, Blacklight Revelations 2, Zentober, D Rock Den, Topaz presents Neo Nubian's Nuances, Pulsar Echo, Shutera, Tell Toya. Thank you all. Nightish, what's going on? And you can become a member too. That's anybody watching, and anybody in the replay gang. Shout out to you guys as well. Leave a comment in the comment section. I mean, if you have time, of course. But a view and a like will be fine. Hit like on the way in too. So yeah. Once again, it's home. Once again. All right. So in commemoration of the gender war, I will display certain images. Uh, hey, not the most important thing, but uh, just wanted to let you guys know what kind of show you're in for. And this image right here is just an homage to this so-called gender war. It's just odd to me is the concept of calling it a gender war. I don't know if I would call it a gender war, so to speak. Because really, the only thing is really costing is the dudes. I mean, it's not a cut. Like if you listen to how these conversations go, and yeah, I'm gonna take it as a bunch of black men and black women trying to tell black men something, you know, then I would see it for what it really is. It's a way to shirk off the accountability to people who sometimes don't deserve it. Sometimes they do. But just listen for a second. Let me see. All right, we got 16 in here. Please press the like or press the dislike. I'm not necessarily here to point fingers. I'm gonna do without pointing fingers. I'm gonna try to, but if you ask me a question in the chat, I'll be very truthful about it. I am very interactive with the chat, and I'll go into this a little bit. Made a post the other day about the smoke show. How there's not really any smoke coming to this channel for real. It's like so. I'll do something that's topic based till the rules go that way. Um, Whereas we, as a community of people, will be able to understand each other a little bit more. If something doesn't show up or certain elements are not a part of the show, is really nothing that I can predict. Smoke Show Sundays is a very cool name for a show on Sunday night. I mean, at least I think so. You don't have to. Man said D. Scott said, "Is that Marjorie or Jada?" This is AI homage. I saw it on Facebook earlier. And since we're doing a gender war topic, really the gender war itself, but it's psychological mind fuck that is not very hard to get around. I would say that is not like this is the only kind of content that you have to do in order to succeed. I will say that. I will say that much for those of you who are genuinely opposed to the idea that men and women are constantly verbally lambasting each other on a constant basis on internet social media platforms. Bad black gamer. What is up? Bad black gamer says, was that Steve Harvey stuff confirmed? It still isn't. It really isn't, but I heard something new. Like, even if this is not true either, the shit's funny as fuck. So the bodyguard, I forgot his name. It's some funny shit though. He was supposedly the one that did it. I mean, I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting out the fact that people are ridiculous. So what up, Doctor Thunder? So yeah, this image right here has been going around. It's supposedly this guy right here. Um, it's still unconfirmed. Still unconirmed. Um, I wouldn't go around telling people this is what happened. This is starting to sound like more and more like some social media shit. It's like this is this thing that keeps going around with every black couple, like Will and Jada. These motherfuckers are becoming the new Will and Jada. Except for what's his name? August Alsina is much older this time and fatter. Like what? Like like I said before, I don't put anything past these Hollywood motherfuckers. But the way this shit is unfolding as far as social media is funny as shit. I ain't gonna lie. I am very amused by this. And if you didn't know, two things that supposedly happened. Marjorie Harvey was caught cheating with with the chef, the private chef, and the bodyguard. Like how? Is I don't know. I just wouldn't rush to believe stuff like this. But I mean, Hollywood. So I think it's very plausible. So just be careful unless it's confirmed. But supposedly she divorcing him. She filed for divorce and she wants 200 million. Ugh, I mean, I can't. I mean, until it's confirmed, it's unconfirmed. I'll say that. So our people said that nigga need a bra. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. I don't even want to know or imagine it. I'm just putting the picture up here. Willie D said something about it, so I did a little research. I did a little digging. I call it Google. Like, people just let this crazy shit keeps happening. But really, um, what do y'all think? Do y'all think that there is a gender war that exists and it's affecting really? I mean, just be honest with yourself. Is affecting how other people feel about the opposite sex, or is there actual evidence for you to understand that some of this information out here is very valid, and that the if there are problems with the opposite sex, are there valid claims out there? What are those? What are those valid or invalid claims that the problem that one gender has with the other to make this or facilitate this as a gender war? Or you got D Scott, what's going on? He says, I'm gonna get 10 cent, I'm gonna get 10-gallon hat and roll around in some coconut oil, cop some hoochie daddy shorts and get a cougar. I said that seems to be the plan. Said BGS said the gender, or I mean, you have to ask BGS that. My deal is, even if anyone else says anything like a gender war is over, um, I'm not gonna play dumb. I know that the differences in philosophies is that there's black men need to be responsible because we're supposedly the leaders and such, and you know the other side has to explain what their gripe is with black men, uh, as opposed to me, who's heard it repeatedly from black men about black women. So um, that's, I mean, if you want to bring that kind of smoke, if you are of the opposite gender and you want to get up here and explain why there may be a problem, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Discuss with me why you believe that there might be a gender war. And I mean, just I would just hate for someone to come up here and say that there isn't or it has not been implied. Why do you believe it? I don't, you got to make a believer out of me on something like this. You know, I mean, you can be a guy too. Convince me that there is a gender problem between black men and black women. That facilitates a war. I would say. Let me be more specific. That facilitates a war. I just always seen it as a discussion that people have a tendency to disagree with, and then sometimes it gets personal if the other person doesn't give up. So that's how I see it. However you guys see it, like people are actually firing shots at each other and driving tanks into each other's neighborhood with armored helmets on, parachuting in motherfucking neighborhoods, taking folks out. Just just let me know. But until then, I'm gonna take it as a discussion between adults. Many people may not be able to accept that, but I can. If you are over the age of 18 years old, and I don't recommend you come in that young. Give yourself a couple years and a chance. Give yourself a chance first. If you want a lot of things defused, just I'm not going to recommend the content creators. You're going to have to navigate like me. This that's the way I can be a little bootstrap person. You can just do this on your own. I can't direct you to content creators. All I'm gonna say is this: use your own discernment. Whether that needs guidance or not, ask questions. That's what I'll say. I'll say don't waste too much time in one industry. Try out and see what's best for you. I'll say that. But outside of that, use your head. If you're not smart, there's nothing I can do about that. There's nothing anyone can do about that. That is hopelessness right there. If you're not smart, mm, I mean, like, you can say I'm talking to whoever, male or female. Indigo Flow, what's going on? Me go to the more appropriate slide. Get this motherfucker off the screen. So let's go back to this for a second. G.I. Jane 2. This is this this is the joke that got Chris Rock slapped in front of everybody. And Will Smith did it for his woman. He was the proxy. It was understood. It was his wife. So I mean, but there were so many other ways that shit could have got done. But as you can see with the AI and everything, shit, it might be a possibility. Definitely, without any degree of quantification of statistics, etc., is all intellectual masturbation, balderdash, hogwash, and bloated nothingness. We need polling around these issues, sociological research. Sure, like what are the issues? I just talk to people. I go in, I would say, being just like everyone else. Uh, you need the voice of regular people. If you don't believe that what I'm doing around here is credible, then you can just go ahead and do what you need to do. And ask anybody that's watching right now. I'm good, and I do agree with that comment. You need valuable information, but do be truthful with yourself. Do people really care about that when they still don't get the outcome that they want? No, doesn't happen. I have yet to see it happen. I have yet to see anyone concede a point. If you've seen it, please tell me what content creator to go to so I can watch this unicorn in action. But yeah, but like I said, we all have degrees in different stuff. I mean, we have to be able to tell which one is using their bullshit degree. I mean, I don't like watching bullshit content creators either. So, like I said, Dessalines, that's a very smart and astute observation. My hat's off. Big Drama Bear, what is up? Red Planet Photography, what's good? So you get the thumbs up from the Grammar Muse. Balderdash. Red Planet Photography, salute. Mm, yeah, but there's nothing that nothing that I can see. I mean, somebody else may have a different. They might have actual solid evidence, like a particular content creator. So just educate me. I promise. I won't be doing what people are accusing me of doing, deflecting and hiding behind my audience. Which I think I know what that person meant by that. It's like it's like when an outsider shows up on a panel, then voices start raising, and one person want to talk over the other instead of people talking one at a time. See, my ideal panel is people talking one at a time, so so people can flesh out their argument, not get flustered, and then start just yelling and cursing out of frustration. I mean, we do treat this like a chamber hall, but if only we could do that. If only we could do that, so it won't burst out into meltdowns and uh, you know, words like misogyny and sexism won't get thrown around. So I completely forgot about the slap. I mean, but when we put those protection narratives out there, nobody's bringing up Will Smith. That's how you know being a simp is a fail. I'm not saying Will's a simp. I've defended Will Smith for a lot of years. For a lot of years. So, hey, this is like maybe the second, third, fourth time with periodic mentions in conversations. Cortez Smith, what's going on? Bad black gamer. That slap scene to end Smith's career at the height of his career. Yeah, because he had just did King Richard, and that was his night. It was his night, and a slap. But I thought about that, and it's like this. She just seems like she's a person with sort of a jealous spirit. That's the night of his life. You never know. Maybe there was some. Maybe there was some back chat before the whole thing. But I'm not gonna sit here and speculate. Like we said, we have to deal with actual facts and the evidence on such. And what we saw, like many millions of people saw, was a black man walk up in a very furious pace to another black man and slap shit out of him. Rouge, not Rouge. Hybrid, catastrophic, impact, X83rd power. What is up? We got another smoke show. I'm just promising all the people watching the clouds that I won't hide, or you know it's making me set a new rule. Like, look, anybody can get to smoke at any time. I just hate for someone who has been to the show several times, and I'm not talking about anyone in particular. Someone come up and gives them smoke, and then they start looking at me like, Kev, what are you gonna are you gonna help me out here? Like, this guy right here is, I don't know. I just don't have, I don't know, the wherewithal to step in on those kind of things. Like, I'm just like, damn, I was like, I'm more like a let them fight guy. Let them fight. So I know I got to prove that to people based on past happenings, but I don't have a choice here. I mean, shit, I just have to let things go. Just don't be putting people's personal shit out. I don't care about that. I don't want that around me. RPM says, I think that slap was staged. Might have been. 'Cause, everybody's getting podcasts, black men getting podcasts. And, that's becoming a running joke in social media. That you've had many B dubs put out TikTok videos, you know, doing what they believe their impersonation of a black man on a podcast. And some of the stuff is funny. I'll tell you that much. I just wouldn't be caught being that guy according to the interpretation of a female. So for all the naysayers out there, I laugh at some of those videos too. But I know the underlying message is just like a whiny one. Oh my God, these guys are out here telling the truth. They're using these talking points. Oh no, my feelings. These guys need to be 6 feet under via the police. At least that's what they say on Clubhouse. It's like, damn, this shit is silly. It's silly as fuck. Will Will losing uh was also staged. Why? Because he did King Richard. Because he put his acting chops into that and won the top award in the industry, but at the same time suppressing that whole thing with a slap. Or he didn't want JD to feel too insecure because he is the pinnacle of his career. I don't know though. Either way, it's messed up. It's a messed up look. But this image is still funny though. I look like somebody you'll take orders from. Somebody that you sweat in the sun with for 5 minutes and then pass the fuck out for other circumstances. He said, I don't know why it was staged, but I know Hollywood is deeper than most people think. Yeah, yeah. We all understand that. We do. I cannot believe it's staged because it negatively impacted everybody. It sure did. I mean, this is especially on the heels of the August Alsina thing. Well, you let a dude who likes dudes pork your wife. That's a bad pill to swallow. The stress, everything that was built up. G.I. Jane too. Can't wait to see it. G.I. Jane too. Can't wait to see it. Like shit. Yeah, Cortez Smith. I felt stage from the get go. I was actually shocked at how many people thought it was real. Mm, bad look is a bad look. Oh yeah, Toya, I saw that you were on to kind of hype this show up. I really appreciate that, and also, first and foremost, I appreciate you being on the air again. You know, so G.I. Jane isn't even an insult. Yeah, it's like you know, Chris Rock might as well have went up on stage and said "bald bitch." You bald bitch. I mean, I think anybody would have understood a slap after that. Anybody. So Chris Rock let himself get smacked in front of the whole world. Man, look, Chris Rock is smaller than Will Smith. I mean, I know people can't, continue to use that as an excuse, but these guys are older too. Think about their age and think about the age of guys they be calling old niggas in this space. I mean, would you believe that Chris Rock would have had the ability to hold his own against Will Smith at his age? Let me see. Let me look up how old Chris Rock is real quick. Some of y'all can put it in the chat if you want, but I'm still looking it up. Chris Rock age 58 years old. Man is 58. The man had which means he was like 56 or 57 when it happened. So I entirely doubt that Chris Rock has some kung fu secret he got in his pocket for guys like Will Smith. So yeah, he probably let him do it and probably was for the best. Love Kev. I'm only here because of you and this here show for those that don't appreciate that. Uh it's not even something a dude would get mad about. But you saw how you saw that noggin turn like into a different face. I'm not saying that he should have like just went up there and slapped him because Jada had that look on her face, but this is just a prove it just proves that men are sometimes emotional. Certain kind of man. Same kind of emotional stability that a lot of these dudes got that put on their cape and fly out into the gender war and prove exactly what I've been saying is a war of philosophies. It's not just all like man on man and woman on woman. I mean, man on woman shit. It's all those shits. You know what I mean? But yeah, who's ended up looking like the biggest fools in all of it? Like, I mean, it's great that we make points as men, I would say, but do they really care about those points? Just how many insane conversations that I've heard and I've had about this one little thing, gender war. Yeah. like, and I've gone through it time and time again. Is everybody saying the same shit? Which, for me, it doesn't make it valid. I just think that people have been on social media long enough to hear all of them. They all sound the same, and and by the same token, they're not backing it with any real factual information, just uh, emotional shit. So if I was to choose a side, I would choose the common sense side. Okay, if someone is responsible for something, don't worry about their feelings when you blame them, male or female. You know, you tell people the truth. You don't give them the benefit of lying to them to make them feel good because we've been doing that shit for years. That shit don't work. Shit made people worse. Think about where we are now. Notice a tricky camera angle. You literally can't see the slap connect, even though there were 100 cameras. Not one camera caught the actual slap. Yeah, like you're right about that because there should have been another camera angle that zoomed right in on the face as it was, getting impacted. There should have been another camera angle, but it, I don't know, man. Maybe they was testing the technology they had. How real can we make this look? They are all actors. Yeah, this is what they do for a living. This is what they do for a living. But the optics, it still pounded on everyone mentally. For those of us who didn't believe it was staged, a black man just slapped a black man. It's unprecedented. How many times have you seen something like that? I mean, you see it on certain talk shows and certain eras, certain other events where people would fight. But I guess it just a little bit more because it was an award show, one of theirs. They are all actors. Okay, so there was a it was a little gender differentiation in this situation. Whose side were you on? Were you on Chris Rock or were you on Will and Jadis? Men were always, as we always are, we're kind of mixed on it. Some of us, was on Chris Rock's side. Some of us was on Will and Jada's side. I would say the ratio gets a little bit bigger. I mean, yeah, a little bit more one sided rather when it comes to them, but the women. But it's what I it's from observation. It's from observation from what I've seen said by men versus what I've seen said by women. I wish I could have made some graphs or some charts to validate this claim. But anyway, the masses are sitting back and laughing and saying, "There they go again." I just don't think that Will is dumb enough to actually do that unless it's scripted. So what you're saying is Will deliberately ruined his career. Deliberately. For no reason. Maybe he's being cointail proed. Something like that. Jada whispered some kind of code word and Will just went out and I don't know. Possibilities are endless. But I'm supposed to be talking about the gender war. Not many people in general know this, but the first major film was literally anti-black male propaganda. Talking about Birth of a Nation. Not the Nate Parker Birth of a Nation, the one that came out back what was it, 1916? That's what year it came out. Did some propaganda for if black men prospered, it would be oppressive and bad for everyone else. Yeah. Who cloned Will Smith? If that was easily triggerable, he would have never made it far in his career. Yeah. 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 I agree with that. Yeah. Cortez Smith confirms it. Birth of a Nation. Yeah, that was the first major feature film full of anti-black male propaganda. All righty. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I guess this be like this is one of these space talking points right here. It's always about child support. So this should get the juices going. Angela White, formerly known as Black China, petitions Tiger to get established parental relationship for their son King Cairo. And she said on her Twitter account, yesterday I had to give up three of my cars. My reasons, morals, beliefs, being a single mother. No support. I'm a mama. Single, no support, child support. But then he turns around and says, I pay 40K a year for my son, school. He live with me Monday through Saturday. Why would I pay child support? 40K a year for the school. That's some high ass tuition. But hey, only the best for your child. And he just said that was just for the school. Yeah, we'll get to this in a second. Said the white supremacist who wrote it admitted that he made it up, but black women are still running with the myth that black men chasing Becky. Man, you know that's that's something else. That's another talking point that most black men are in relation who are in relationships or with black women, relationships, marriages, whatever. Black women are preferred. Why is it that someone's pushing this narrative the other way? Why, what kind of agenda does a person have when they do that shit? You got to start asking yourselves these questions. Yeah, there was plenty of propaganda against us, but those kinds of things have been overshadowed and dismissed as excuses. Stuff like that. And all we're doing is making excuses for why we didn't succeed, why we doing YouTube broadcasts from our mom's basements. You know that kind of deal. That's how it is in 2023. There were different versions of it in other time periods. You had the talk show era. That's another talking point. Yeah. Yep. But we will never be seen as the ones that's given the actual like as men. This is well, I'm not saying never. I'm just saying y'all gonna be waiting a long time for anyone to give in or yield their talking point because that's what sells them to people. Seriously, some of these people don't believe their own bullshit. Said these celebs are a mess. And also, why should Tiger have to pay to have a relationship with his son? These are the same bras that call dead black men deadbeats. And she supposedly found God. So is the finding a good one in the church is becoming a myth. You're just gonna have to sit down with one and you're gonna have to have at least a 10-minute conversation with her. You can determine everything you need to know within those first 10 minutes. I guarantee it. just a 10-minute. If you can get a 10-minute conversation, I mean, just a sit down. It could be at any time, because most dudes be focused on hitting. If you could just get a 10-minute conversation, you will see everything you need to know. I guarantee it. Put out many fires for me. I mean, I remember sitting down to a sushi dinner with one. This was a while back, long time ago. My pre-married days. Sitting down eating sushi. Sushi had become one of my favorite things. And then she just had this joker smile on her face that wouldn't go away. Like she was a little tight eyed and she had this joker smile on her face. It wasn't no, this wasn't weed or anything like that. This wasn't the herbals. This was something else. I found out in a 10-minute conversation that this was a mistake. I ate sushi anyway because I had the money. Shoot. I would say at least that. You can also find out in a 10-minute conversation whether she's it. You, you know, a man can tell. I'll say that. I don't know. That might be too much of a challenge for some of y'all, but if you could just sit them down and talk. I mean, some of you might disagree. Give a fuck. I mean, yeah. If you disagree, you can explain why in the chat, of course. LOL. Black women still use Mister from the Color Purple to describe black men, even though they never saw this type of men. And also, like nobody's making them do all that shit that's in that movie. Man, it's just like we ate dinner last night. I expect you to wash all them dishes, bitch, and then bring me a sandwich and a cold beer. No, ain't nobody doing that. Wash my funky drawers. Keep this house clean, and when I come in, you take my shoes off for me. Fuck out of here. Nobody's doing that. Slavery is washing dishes and cooking. I mean, you want to eat, you cook. Shoot, I'll cook sometime too. Don't worry. Come on now. These girls are single because nobody's dealing with this shit, and you come up here and act like these guys are requiring you to wash dishes and cook. That's easy. What if he buys the food? What if he pays the grocery bill? Shoot. I mean, it's all these what ifs, and then people narrowing it down to cooking and cleaning. What kind of character these people have? It's all about the character, men and women. But men are allowed to make these decisions with a 10-minute conversation. Okay, y'all want to talk about what's up here? Let me get on with this one. Safari kind of man is this? Reacts to Halle Berry agreeing to pay 8K a month in child support to her ex-husband, and he says, "At I am Safari," and it repeats, "At I am Safari." A man getting child support is crazy. He might as well put on a dress. Listen up, Safari. I got something to tell you. Child support is for the child. It is not for the man. What is he gonna do? Every time he get a child support check, he go get a new hair weave and an outfit and go to the club Friday and Saturday night and take twerk pictures. That's what's gonna happen, huh? That's what you think is gonna happen. Like, and then he doing a little he doing little duck lips with like, he makes sure his face is freshly lotioned before you take pictures like that. That's sus already. Sir, child support is for the child. That's why it's called child support. CHILD support. This guy done lost his damn mind. Shoot, kids need to live lavishly. Kevin Garnett had to pay 100K a month, and nobody cares because it's a man. Here I come to save the day. Sorry, bitch head. Might as well put on a dress. Yeah, there's some interesting facts about this guy. I don't know too many of them because I really don't know who this is. But when you speak on an issue like this, it's like you're automatically applying some type of gender bias. Like it's okay for it to happen one way, but it's not okay for it to happen another way. How many men have been screwed over and had to pay thousands upon thousands of child support? Oh yeah, that's why they say we should be talking about the court systems and changing the laws. Kev, why don't you talk about changing the laws? All right, go find me 10 black men that are willing to put up an effort. 10 that are will put up a golden effort to make a clear path for us to go change the laws. Kevin, can you find 10 men right now? The answer right now is no. Let me be truthful. If I sat up here and thought about 10 men, maybe two of them would. Yeah. These guys, yeah, freshly lotioned. He made sure he was looking dapper for this picture right here. Something that I don't do, but it's like it. I don't see it as a good idea. Meanwhile, Tyrese is paying 20K and he getting clowned. And I know he didn't mean crowned because somebody will come in here talking about some kings. Yeah, I told y'all. I told y'all they thought they was kings. Yeah, they do not care when men have to pay these prices because, according to the general populace of Westerners, it's our fault as men that we got somebody pregnant. We should have been more careful so she can get as much as she wants, and then one day go on a press tour when she runs out of money to say that he did this and that for a book deal and possibly a movie deal. This is what a lot of these men talk about, and then it gets called a gender war. Bullshit like that. But a lot of that is the psyche of the culture that we have been facilitated to be in. It lets them get away with it. If she got a big booty, I guarantee you she got like 5 cents, at least 5 cents. Now that's very, very that's low balling. That is low balling. So that's a hard wall to break through. I'm just gonna say that. Try to reason with someone who will go to those tactics anyway. Think about that. Ain't this the same guy who baby mama keep trying to move and hide the kids from him? Probably. It's Holly weird. Yep, it's Holly weird. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Outspoken introvert, clowned. Yeah, I knew what you meant. I don't truly believe any of these Hollywood couples again. It all looks staged. Well, said, I don't want my woman paying me child support. I couldn't live it down. He couldn't live it down. He couldn't live down accepting child support checks. That's weather. He might be different from some of you guys, but that's how weather is. He does not accept. No, he won't do it. Don't ask him to do it. Weather, do you have children? Children. Is your woman with child? Do you have a child that you possibly don't know about? Heck no, Kev. Okay, then it's not your problem anyway. So you can say stuff like that. I gotta make my own money. Yeah, I don't accept no handout. Shoot. I mean, you're a principled guy. You deserve nothing but credit for that. But I'm just saying, for some of these other ones, it's different. Mm. Uh, I mean, what would some of your other guys do in the chat? Would you do different from Weather, or would you go down Weather's road? You won't accept child support, just like with Halle Berry. That man said, Cortez, come on now. She ain't your woman anymore. We talking about child support. You got his answer. Like, shoot, man said men should be getting alimony and everything. Ugh. Yeah, but yeah, that's what it is. Old Safari, whoever this guy is. Yeah. So, well, what? Let me ask y'all a question. What would what would cost your has your lives have your lives been impacted by gender war, social media gender war, or is this some interesting level conversation to talk about? Whether said dudes who let female drive them around are the same dudes who accept child support from a chick. Ugh. I mean, if you ever catch yourself in a situation like from what I can see, like with a lot of the stories I hear, most of the black men they don't accept the child support. They do it on their own. Man said I damn sure didn't get ride in the passenger seat. Oh wait a minute. You said I didn't get a cent from child support from my ex-wife. She still owes, and I damn sure didn't ride in the passenger seat. Says the real gender wars in real life. It's obviously some people are thinking it if they got to come to these platforms and express such negative banter, male or female. What's up, Chance Rogers? But we understand that it is idea that everyone stop the madness. It's idea, but I don't believe anyone really wants to stop. That's another thing. They say I give her alimony. I know what that means. I know a few single fathers sold custody and don't collect child support. None of them. See, told you. I think most men decide that they don't need the child support. Like they'll probably rather have custody of their children instead. The single father sole custody. Black men should know how petty black women are. We know that child support got strings attached. I agree with that. Yeah, we should all know by now. Having these gender war battles. The battle of the yet another Cynthia G discussion. Some shit like that. The battle of the simps with Derrick Jackson. Obviously, if the chick makes significantly more, she should pay child support. In most situations, the chick marries a man that makes more. In most, according to other sources, though, saying that the woman is the sole breadwinner. I said, you what you're doing is you're capping and conflating because I mean that's a whole argument right there. So you ninjas are getting taken to the cleaners. I mean, for the most part, yeah. Who what group of people do you believe, just based off what you hear and according to the data, who's getting more child support? The men or the women? I ain't talking about who old. I'm talking about who's getting more. Black men or black women. Or well, let's make this a cross race since some of y'all like to do that too. Men or women. Who's getting more child support, men or women? Just need that money. Well, come on, man. Men shouldn't act like females. So accepting money is a female trait. We say things like that here. Making money is accepting money that isn't. I'll put it in a better context. Accepting money that isn't earned from a female is is a female trait. Said fuck that. I say treat them like they treat you in court. Veins cold as hell. I mean, we constantly say that. I mean, if you're saying that men are getting taken to the cleaners and then you criticize every time a man wins, that's kind of mixed messaging right there. It's like, why are men being taken to the cleaners? So one man gets an opportunity to get paid off something like that. The man's probably, he said, I'll buy a beer with about $3 of it, and then I give the rest to the child. But most men, most black men are, if they are single fathers, they do not accept the child support. They rather work it. They rather have custody of the kids. Shoot. I think it should be even tailed. If she can kill it and you have no right to make that call yourself, shoot. I mean, we've heard that before. It's a double standard, supreme double standard. So yeah, that's what you have to understand about whether he doesn't have any kids. So there's going to be, to a degree, a lack of understanding for those who have, because he doesn't know what it's like. And from the way I can tell by his thought process, he wouldn't want to infringe on anything either. Like, telling people how it should be, as opposed to how things are as they exist with your child. I'm sure he's not like that, but he's operating on that mentality. He doesn't have a kid, so it's like, I mean, say I was good out of the way. I worked a lot though. We had to. You got to. If you don't work, hey, I would I would never I would never suggest that black men are lazy. I would never suggest that. I know we're not. I know we're not. Black men aren't lazy. Black men should just be privy to better information. Go after opportunity and, you know, create an opportunity for himself if possible. Or at least don't get screwed over. Cortez, when I was a man in ninth grade, you throwing slick shade. Uh, I can't get women because I'm too weird. I don't give a rat's ass, to be honest. Say you're weird. I mean, they always teach these narratives to all these other groups of people, saying you should be able to accept yourself for who you are. Shoot, that count for us too. So be weird, bruh. This is when I had custody of my son. Now he's 18, going into the Air Force. All righty, congratulations! Wish him all the best in the world. Air Force. Brother says you gotta let that go, bro. A lot of black men are still hurt by that stuff. Hurt by what? Paying child support, you know, being with a woman that the guy once trusted, and now they had a kid together, and now he can't see his kid because that's the way the court systems operate. I don't know. Have a little sympathy. This shouldn't happen to men. It should be even. In a perfect world, but this world ain't perfect. Said now you trolling. Brother still mad they got rejected at homecoming in 1992. I don't know. Is that why you listen to other content creators that say they want to kill or they wish we would die? Because all we do is talk about Keisha when they end up talking about Keisha themselves. I think that's pretty in poor taste, wouldn't you say? But I know we're the ones. We're the men. We're the hardcore ones. We're the one that got to take all the punishment. It's just wrong when we speak. Mr. Me Too, what's going on? Can't have everybody agreeing. I'll say that. Can't have everybody agreeing. That's no fun. That's what they started calling a circle jerk. Oh, you guys are a circle jerk over there. You guys are getting along too much. I mean, not that I see anything wrong with it. I just see it as regular convo. I have no sympathy for black men, Kev. Brothers gotta uh gotta have a better vision for their lives. Yeah, I mean that's something that black men should not be strangers to. Having people have no sympathy for any of us. So you saying that kind of thing is not surprising to me. I mean, even if you are a black man, I mean it is what it is. It doesn't make me mad. Oh, intense. Ooh, I've been dealing with it enough. It's the facets of this so-called gender war is that there are men on both sides. Black men have failed themselves and their people. It's time to reflect. Bullshit. Black people have a rebellious spirit and refuse to follow each other. I refuse to I refuse to take accountability for grown ass adults that act like they can't make up their mind to tie their fucking shoes or not. It is what it is. We'll just disagree on that. There are plenty of strong black men out there. You got people using bullets and shit to take those men out. So, it kind of pussified the community, and now we can't do nothing but point the finger at each other. Yeah, we know where the problem is. The failure's on black people. Y'all just don't want to be black no more. Y'all want to be people of color. That's what you want to be. Talk nice to the white folks, and maybe they'll treat us worth something. Maybe they'll give us reparations. Shit. I mean, along with the fight with our own people, like I'm still swinging. But you know what? I'll never go a day without saying you motherfuckers are stupid. This is on black people. This is on adults. If if there are people who made selfish decisions based on the facts that they have advantages, they are traitors. And I don't think it's a bad idea to ostracize those people. But I am not God. I can't just say, "Hey, fuck those guys. Let's kill them. Hope they die." I mean, I can be ruthless like that too, but doesn't do anything. There's no point to it. I mean, I'm just saying, you motherfuckers watch Scoundrels and say that they're better than people like us. Fuck them motherfuckers. That's why I invite them to come on this show. But they're bitches, they're pussies. So if you want to call those guys men, go right ahead. You're wrong. Shit. Hey, let me give y'all a little secret. I don't give a fuck about nobody' feelings. I know how to treat people with respect. And when that respect is rejected for whatever reason, then we go there. Respect shouldn't be a problem. I don't respect people I don't know. Then proceed to get kicked in your face. Like I can't I can't keep making these cases if it's like this. Niggas want to start shit and they're sound. You motherfuckers think they're sound content creators. Let me put a more appropriate image up here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. However, are those black men built good building a new community? What's building? Black men have built enough, and you people shitted on it. Like I'm not just saying. I'm not trying to just like trying to take some gunshots for black men or whatever. I mean, in a lot of communities, the destructive men who did not have guidance tore them motherfuckers up. What happened? Some blue collared black guy walked in, stuck his dick in a hood rat, and left with no intention of sticking around for even the baby's birth. No, that shit ain't happening. Stupid people. Shoot. Gender war is more about black men on black men. Yeah, there are black men that say, hey, the finger belongs here. Here's your information. You don't have to like the information. But hey, if you can't debunk the information, ain't no use going somewhere else and crying about it. Fucking care. The blame lies where the blame lies. I'm not responsible for Boom Quisha's baby. The baby's not mine. The kid is not my son. It's up to her how she want to raise it. If you make a baby without marriage, it's your fucking fault. Whoever you decide to pin that shit on. Give a fuck. You do what you need to do to make things right by that little person that you got coming in the fucking world. It is not up to me as a black man in any capacity to lead motherfuckers that don't not only don't want to appreciate it, but cause destructive circumstances for everybody that's around them. What am I supposed to do? Have it in my heart to forgive that? These motherfuckers chose that lifestyle. I chose another way. I chose another path. Anybody could have chosen any safe path if you bring a child into this world. If you're not serious and ready to be a parent, why are you letting people stick their dick inside of you? Why are you as a man fucking people unprotected? It's fucking stupid. Pensive, salute, big if hybrid. I'll agree with weather to some degree. I'm just not gonna be like fuck black men. I mean, I can't do it. Sorry. I ain't saying fuck black women. I mean, fuck some of their views, but I'll never completely ever say that. But in many instances, it's hard to tell whether they're our friend or not. Seriously, I just don't suggest entertaining conversations with people that obviously hate you. They are who, whether they are who. Shoot, what we trying to prove here? Shoot, I just like coming up here and talking. I keep telling y'all the truth. I tell y'all the truth every broadcast. Is there any political plan? There are channels to go for that. I don't think they're here coming over here for an actual political plan. I'll listen to a suggestion for a political plan. I'll always listen. I'm one of the best listeners in the space. Believe me. They're just wayward like other women. What color woman? Oh yeah, you kind of you kind of have your feel as according to you whether you. I'm not gonna make excuses for 'em. Is 2023 that's enough. Making excuses for them is what got us here in the first place. A bunch of weak men who decided that they wanted to go with blue pill ideologies. Now the shit got rampant and out of control. The only thing is, the only thing is, people are still wondering why this happens. Every time a real black man stands up for the community, it backfires. Look at Nipsey. Remember that nail shop homeboy threw a brick through a window? Black women were back in there the next day. Yeah, they're all from discounts. That's all they want is a discount. They don't care about you. In essence, Tyrone Muhammad should have never threw that damn brick through that window. He showed his community. He made it on social media. He went viral. But what was at the end of the day? What was the purpose in that? I commend the heart and an intent in it, but it is not something that is not something that would have vindicated black men. R.I.P. Kevin Samuels. Yeah, yeah. R.I.P. Kevin Samuels. You know, people are still triggered by that man. Still, still, and people think it's okay. There's a bunch of people that watch a bunch of YouTube broadcasts and think this shit is okay. Still here. What part of the world are you in, Weather? Yeah. Black women I see are fit, attractive, and educated. They want black men, and they aren't as bad as the space will often claim. The space or a few, because I understand there are a few guys that do this. There'll always be brothers need to forgive, and so do sisters. Cortez Smith said, "Boyce Watkins, this Kevin again." Guys, you got to keep that simp energy up. You got to make sure they keep coming back. I really don't know who I'm telling. Fuck you. I mean, you don't have to. That's the beauty of it. You can decide that all on your own. You don't have to do anything on anybody's behalf. I will say fuck you to who I deem it appropriate. But if you look at the optics of it, it just doesn't seem like sisters are our friends. It just doesn't. And I understand why these conversations might go left, when a black man is talking to a black woman on these platforms. It's a whole big old mess. Shoot. I mean, do we really in this space want to see the problem solved or the problem perpetuates itself? Do I want to see the problem solved? I would like to see the problem solved so I can go in full on into talking about stuff like entertainment and such or whatever. Think about if that problem was solved, if that gender problem was solved. Look at this dude right here. Don't be talking about my beautiful black queens like that, nigga. I can't quit being attracted to black women. Nah, fam. Me neither. Me neither. I don't think. I mean, if you can tell me, and you usually say names, whether if you can tell me who decided to quit black women, just quit them. You can put their names down there. I don't care. I don't have any problem with that point of view. People would say I do because of my associations. To say that they're all the same is an unfair assessment. They're not all the same. It's not a good argument to use when discussing real problems, but facts are facts. They're not all the same. Weather is a funny guy. Yeah, Weather is very valued around here. I value Weather. I value his opinion. He says stuff just like everyone else. I might just go full hotep simp for one of my jobs. Come on now. She gave me those sexy intrigued eyes every time I see her. Lord have mercy. All right. I will say shoot your shot, buddy, but get her away from there first. I mean, it doesn't even matter in a lot of circumstances. I mean, everybody knows the red flags. Just like I said, have a 10-minute conversation with her. Have a 10-minute conversation. Just 10 minutes of nothing but full conversation. Unless you already got that step out of the way. Y'all ever heard what Nikola Tesla said about women back in the 20s and 30s? Mm, we need Weather to speak for the Boyce Watkins crowd. Weather's a little bit more ruthless than that. Like, I think he'd be a little bit too ruthless for Boyce. Nikola Tesla, women. Tesla had a distinct opinion on how women should dress and look. He disliked burly, slow women, but particularly detested modish, flashily dressed, and heavily jeweled type. He liked trim, slim, graceful, and agile women. Is is that what you're talking about, Mister Me Too? He said, "Now the soft voiced gentlewoman of my reverent worship has all but vanished." Tesla told a reporter in 1924. In her place has come the woman who thinks that her chief success in life lies in making herself as much as possible like a man in dress, voice, and actions, in sports and achievements of every kind. Wow. Even back then, there was some shit going on. Wow. Brother say you want to get a black woman, get a government job. Sisters in their 20s, all up in there. Man, let me tell you something. I be seeing them. I be seeing them at the cell phone place. I mean, I'm just saying, for those of you who are looking, go on these cell phone places and get a phone activated or something. There be some up in there, just in the area where I'm from. So not everybody's from where I'm from, but that's what was red pill. Mr. Me Too says he was black pill. Cortez Smith, no, that's not it. It's Tesla's feminist comment. He was calling it out then. Nikola Tesla. Tesla was against dating American women for marriage. Ugh, wow. So this problem, you just prove with that information that this problem that we face is decades, so even more decades than you know, if we would have figured it out in the beginning instead of getting to the point now where we're trying to figure it out, we might have had a better chance. But at this point, just saying, man, just find that one, that one in a million. I mean, some of us tragically go through life never finding that one special person. If that's the issue, if that's really the issue of the gender differentiation, so you can be okay with that, or you can sit down and have a 10-minute conversation. At this point, feminism is epigenic. There you go, singing like Sherman's brother. One. in a million, chance of a lifetime. Uh, the gender war goes back to Adam and Lilith. LOL. Lilith. Rhett Butler was the real founder of the Red Pill Manosphere movement. That's it, Kev. I knew it. I knew it, Toya. Rhett Butler. Yeah, I'll probably look into who Rhett Butler is one day. But yeah, I mean, shit just moves along, and certain names and labels find us all. I would say some people can call themselves doctors. Some people can call themselves lawyers, golf players, street sweepers, porta potty cleaners, and don't underestimate that job. Especially if you do it on a beach at a Caribbean island or some shit like that. No, I don't. I seriously don't know who I am. I mean, I seriously don't know who that is. I mean, I heard the name Rhett Butler. I mean, now I've gone with the. Oh, you talking about him? Oh shit, gone with the wind. Thanks for refreshing me. Frankly, my dear scholar, Frank, frankly, my dear scholar, I don't give a damn that guy. Frankly, my dear scholar, I don't give a damn. His daughter died. He left Scarlet. The man was hurt. Most rap music in the '90s was red pill content. Yeah, I just did a video on like rap and this the impact and the WAP argument, and if you want to see that video, it's $2.99 a month to be a member. Yeah, that's the members only. But I get it. It's like those guys, those guys like NWA and Straight Outta Compton. They were just talking about the situations they ran into on the streets, in the streets. I mean, NWA without Ice Cube, now that's a different story. Weather said he was able to walk out and never look back because she was too toxic. And the biggest blue pill propaganda film of all time was Kindergarten Cop. I watched Kindergarten Cop the other day. Yeah, with my daughter. I was just showing her some of the older films. Patrice O'Neal got me started knowing about red pill philosophy. Yeah, Patrice O'Neal was quite the character. I mean, I wish I would have found Patrice O'Neal earlier. All I knew of man for a long time was Pitbull off the Player Haters Club. Alrighty, got 35 people in here. 35. That's a giant ass number. I really appreciate all of y'all being here for real, for real. Appreciate all of you. Holy shit. I got two dislikes. Two dislikes. I got two thumbs down. Wow. That's awesome.
Now I'm feeling objectified by your male gaze. Damn.
What could have happened? Al Bundy warned us. Some of them no ma'am t-shirts. No ma'am. That shit was all. That shit was awesome. I mean, it just made for comedy. Boy's dad was made to be the bad guy when all he wanted was to see his son. Arnold was a simp stepdad wannabe. Hmm. Oh, that explains it. I remember that. It said a stepdad wannabe. You get out of here. Uh, if you can Google it, Lilith is considered to be the first feminist. Life was good when we could watch Married with Children as a family. Yeah. Let me drop the link. It's been an hour and a half. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Let's put that up here first. Does that make you mad when you see this image right here? Does it do something to you? He said, "See, brothers, white women are grimy. Oh, oh, that hotel transformation. I can see it." They tell you who was the better actor, Steve or Jefferson. I'm Team Steve. I'm Team Steve because I remember that episode where uh I think it was like Marcy's grandma ashes was used to smoke the food. And when Steve heard that shit, he started he started smiling. Oh shit! I would say Jefferson because he was more animated. They said white women would take your child and move across the country with Cortez Smith. White women do it too. Oh, y'all funny down there. Y'all funny. But I got two dislikes. What's going on? I mean, I don't care. I mean, it just let me. It just allows me to play my video.
Now I'm feeling objectified by your male gaze. Damn.
That was Griff was in more episodes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got two of them. It's all good. Does that make you mad though? That image, for those of you hating in the clouds, probably probably one of the dislikes that are still here that you watching from the shadows. Does this image right here on the screen make you mad? A black man who podcasts, a guy that just talks. Sort of what I'm doing right now, except I'm wearing a headset. Does it bother you? Does it make you mad? And dislike was from who you told me to say fuck you to. Yeah, I'm afraid so. I'm good with that. Can't win everybody. Can't win everybody. You win who matters. Oh, Mr. Me Too, I see your super thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's in my Black Manosphere show of the week. The re-upload because I don't like that because it was like there was like quite a few people watching that first broadcast and the shit started buffering and just like everybody left It just look kind of. I mean, it's just not like I said earlier in the broadcast. It's just not something that um it's just not something that since you want to since someone who wants to provide content such as me, that's not something I want to see happen. But I appreciate the super thanks. He said, shout out to the Black Manosphere Show of the Week. Hit that like button, good people. Support Black Men Media. Hashtag DOV. Hashtag BIW. Appreciate it. So, those of you watching the cloud, can I squeeze another dislike out of you? Or if you want to, press the like button. That would be awesome too. Does this image right here? You say I missed all that? What me thanking you for the super thanks, Mr. Me Too? Yeah. That man say OJ Simpson. Come on now. He said you gonna end up like OJ in a white Bronco on the news. Oh man. Cortez Smith responds, whether OJ is one man, I can literally name hundreds who were set up by your queens. All it takes is a Google search. That's all it takes is a Google search. Does his image make you mad? Yeah. Yeah. Memes are funny. They are so funny. Tired of eating the same things. Ain't no new animals came out yet. You know, you know, it's like with that being said, that's not really a bad question to ask. I know that the optics is that Precious is on a meme where this is being said. She waiting for new animals to come out, but it's like this. It's plenty of animals to eat already. All you have to do is go to a foreign country, like the passport bros. Eat all kinds of exotic foods. There's just different kinds of cuisines. You don't have to stick to fried chicken and hamburgers. Mr. Me Too said, "No need for that. I'm happy. I support us 1,000%." I was referring to the technical issues. Oh, what happened was I uploaded the show to StreamYard and had set a broadcast to play through StreamYard, but it kept buffering. For those who was watching, and like I said, it was quite a few people. Uh, it was too much for them, and they left. So I mean, I'll take responsibility on that. When you're providing content, you want to deliver the best you can. So what I did was I just treated it like a premiere. I uploaded the video straight to YouTube. Now everything's okay on that. Yeah. Ain't no new animals came out yet. Man, these people. Okay. So let me ask you guys, since you're here and since you're watching and since you're commenting, who is there a what are your thoughts on the gender war? Is there a gender war? Like I said, I'm gonna go start going with a more ruthless set of rules here. And if no one comes up, it'll be another successful smoke show. Oh boy. He said the gender war is hogwash. That stuff you buy out of wash hogs. That's what this gender war is. If you see a bottle in the pet supply department and the bottle is labeled hogwash, That's the gender war. Or yeah, that's the gender war right there. However, catastrophic impact X83rd Power says ain't no gender war. Black men want peace, and it's black women that are infiltrating our spaces. Wow. See the demographic. See if I can quantify that by this channel. Let me look at my YouTube studio to see the demographic of people that are in my chats and watching my content. Okay, let's go to audience. All right. So I have 85 as of right now. I have 85.5% males in my who watches my content. Like that's everything. That's live broadcast. That's watching my uploads. Stuff like that. 14.5% is female. 14.5% is female, which really by these percentages in my analytics is higher than usual. Whether there are two sides of the same coin, Becky in general at least leaves you longer to live, let you live longer. I think the gender war is AI generated to speed up the big button pushing. Yeah, maybe. No, Indigo Flow 14.5%. 85.5% male, 14.5% female. So that's 1% unspecified for some reason. Oh wait a minute. No. That's a full 100%. That's a full 100%. 85.5 plus 14.5. Yeah. That's a full 100%. The math is mathing, but it's 14.5% female. So it's pretty obvious that the target audience on my channel is male. I would say the females who watch, like Toya is definitely included in that. Thanks for being here. It's not a channel that I really wanted to exclude females if females were being talked about too much. That's just kind of a personal rule of mine. But I know how disruptive some females can be. Miss Iris says, whether Latinos are getting brothers too, especially passport bros. Weather responds. However, you mean the Harlem trick trotters, those passport bros? Oh God. People calling it gender wars don't know what war is. What it isn't good for, absolutely nothing. Yeah. What it isn't good. Okay, I get it. War, hood, good God, y'all. Let them hoes watch from the clouds. Oh shoot. Yeah. I know one thing though. They do have this message like, they're not welcome to come here. And, from the way I presented myself, I don't know how that is. Maybe because other people have said stuff. That might be it. Might be because of people I had on panels. Yeah. So I dropped the link. Any of you that want to come up here and tell me that yes, there's a gender war exists, and then black men need to apologize for opening our mouths and all this other shit, you go right ahead. You you go right ahead. Whether most passport bros are not tricks, plus better to trick on feminine women that are not ran through with baby daddies and syphilis. Wow, you made that one really definitive. It was really definitive. All righty. Got 37, well, 36, 36 on the main channel, one on the backup channel. So the the one on the backup channel, what is up? Thanks for tuning in. Ivory better to trick. See, I knew he was coming back with that. I didn't want to say anything, but I knew he was gonna come back with the better to trick thing. Which me too said I was a passport bro back in 2013 and didn't even know. In other words, he's saying that he was just somebody with a passport that probably traveled to a couple places because he wanted to see different spots that this world had to offer. What was the narrative on that for a long time? Was that black men are just, you know, using their scope of women based on the ones in America, that black men should travel, should get out more. But then when black men start getting out, turned into passport bro. They turned them into the passport bros because there were quite a few black men that saying black every bad example. I mean, for what I can see, every bad example on social media of ratchet hood rat culture, there'll always be somebody commenting under that post saying, "Black men, it's time to get your passports." Here's what I got to say about that. People don't like to be rejected. People don't like to be rejected. People don't like to feel rejected. And since women are far more emotional than men, that's not gender bias talking, not just, well, I mean, and, men are hyper emotional too. So I don't know the accuracy of that in 2023. I'm trying to stand up for you, brothers, but every time I say stuff like this, examples start popping up in my head. So there's going to be, like I said, a bad reaction to getting rejected. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes for any of them. Like, people want to be the perfect sex object to another person. For someone to always make them feel appreciated, wanted, useful to the opposite sex. And when your success rate is not up that far, people start becoming bitter. So when they start hearing stuff about, man, look, man, why don't y'all just go and get y'all passports? They say black men are going overseas and having unprotected with Dominican sex workers. Ew. You can't leave the STD in another country. That's not how that works. You said as a former felon, you said weed charge. What happened? You got a weed charge? Shit, man. I got one back in 2000. It was a misdemeanor though. So I just went to some classes and it was all good after that. It was just some. It was some court ordered classes, like kind of a. It's kind of like a. Just be aware of the laws and you should follow these laws. That kind of shit. Something domestic bros can do is Puerto Rico. I couldn't stay more than a month. You had 10 pounds. Oh shit, you was a regular Frank Lucas, wasn't you? I mean, it was a regular Frank Lucas. Said brother's gonna start time travel. Average catastrophic impact X83rd power said whether most passport bros are financially good and have things to lose. They're not going overseas to have unprotected sex. They are not pookies. So what you're saying, hybrid, is that there are passport bros and there are passport pookies. That's what you're saying. So the passport pookies are the problem. Them niggas. That's why you got niggas around here wearing niggas for Trump t-shirts because of the passport pookies. And he's turned into a slut maker. Jesse Lee Peterson, I remember that. Whether black men in America are the number one condom users, they ain't going overseas to have unprotected sex. Well, you know that the small percentage of men who got all the babies, they're not the best condom users. So I had this joint from the 1850s. It said no passport pookies. Pookies can't afford to travel and are getting strags in America. Oh, okay. All right. I did drop that link. It's all good. Mhm. Said I use Pookie as an example because in America, they are the ones having unprotected sex. RPM said, shit, I wear condoms and get tested every 6 months. I'm not playing with these Baltimore hoes. Yeah, yeah. The way is we've been brought up to believe is we had to go protected anyway. Only a stupid motherfucker running something unprotected, knowing what that could bring. All you're doing is creating a participant for this social media gender war. I got two, three kids. What's up, Toy?
Good evening.
Oh, okay, all right. What's good. What's
So, walk with me a bit.
good? All right.
I know I said the gender war is hogwash, but let's say that it is a gender war.
Okay.
I am going to posit that the gender war is the sisterhood.
Oh, sisterhood. Sisterhood keeping shit up. That's basically what you're saying.
hmm
Yeah.
If we're going to call it a gender war, then it's a gender war within the sisterhood because half of us can't agree on what a woman is. So we're fighting each other about that. We're fighting each other about who um, can get a period or not. We're fighting each other about what a traditional woman is. That's the gender war, sisterhood. It's why I don't claim the sisterhood.
Why you don't claim the sisterhood? Since you're up here, can you elaborate that further?
Sure. So what's ironic about this is you guys don't know me from a can of paint, right? You know what I've shown and shared with you over the past 2 years.
Yeah.
But when I was in high school, I was very much an advocate for women. I was friends with a bunch of different friend groups that sometimes didn't get along. I'm telling you all of this to say I wanted to be a sisterhood. I wanted to facilitate that. I worked with some of the guidance counselors in my high school so that we could all have conversations and come together and be better to one another. Because at that young of an age, I saw a lot of the bickering and fighting as super trivial and, something that we could get over. At the very same time, with that experience of trying to put something like that together and seeing how poorly it went and how it ignited and fanned the flames of the bickering and the fighting, it started to become clear to me that a sisterhood really does boil down to being a gender war. If we're gonna go with that term, that's the first thing I think about, because Black women specifically don't get to where they are without stepping on the backs of Black men. How can you be at war with Black men if they are the sole reason for your upliftment?
Mm. Say the sole reason.
Right, because we don't get here without having to step on you guys' backs. No matter what part of history you start from, we don't get here without that. We don't get here without you giving us what brings forth life. We don't get here without you laying down and letting us step up on you so that we can continue to provide the resources for that life. We don't get where we get to be able to go and have education because you guys had to work. We don't get to where we get to be able to own businesses, have a driver's license, and vote if you guys didn't lay down whatever burdens you had in order to facilitate that. So it's like, I don't understand how we can talk about there being a gender war um, when we're the ones with all the ammo and we're using it against each other.
Yeah, it's definitely a complex thing, and thank you for sharing that because yeah, you girls have to you girls have to fight for that shit. You will you will not see an argument from like any real red blooded heterosexual black man on any of that shit. You sisters definitely have the monopoly on what it is to be a woman. I would say that, and it's a conversation that's crazy as fuck to me. Call me old fashioned. But if you were born with it and you had to go through all the struggles that came with it, you have every right to say what you need to say about it. So, eh,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's the
So,
very same point I was making when all this hullabaloo was going around about, well, a trans woman is a woman, and how do you can't have ownership of such a thing. And I'm like, no, as a woman, as a living and breathing woman, everything that led up to me being here who I am today is based on traversing womanhood. This is not something that you can proxy. This is not something that you can put in a bottle. It's not something you can take classes on. This is something that you gain through experience, just in the very same way that I could never be a man, because that's something you have to live through and earn. That's something that you become. Like, it's not something that you can go have surgery and like I could go on, but I won't.
yeah. And yeah. It is a conversation that doesn't have to exist based on the already existing common sense that many of us display. But I'm sorry to see it happening because I'm one of those guys that you're either a man or you're a woman. And there's no problem with me admitting that. So I'm on y'all side about that shit. You know, telling Toya Tax, long live the habitual line steppers from Rogish. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that. But another thing is, are you also referring to the fact that when you have an opinion different from most of the sisterhood, you do face attacks as well? I've seen it
Well,
happen. I,
yeah.
I, I've I've seen it happen to women a lot. When they're actually treating brothers like actual human beings, then they face a lot of pushback from sisters in particular, sisters who say that they support the black woman, they got the black woman's back. But when you have sisters such as yourself saying that these men aren't all bad, then that seems to go out of the window. I mean, what has that experience been like for you?
All the above. And even before we get to the point where we disagree, this is why I empathize with men. I can't tell you how many times I am ill received by black women before I even open my mouth. So the fact that so many of us walk around with these dispositions, it's a turnoff in and of itself. And so then when we do get to exchanging pleasantries, they are rarely pleasant.
Rarely.
Rarely. I mean, honestly, I was just talking on my stream about how I like to talk to people when I'm out and about. I'm very much I like to I don't love small talk for the purpose of just having it, but if you're in a situation where you're waiting in line and whatever to make the time pass by, I will strike up a conversation. But usually even just within what normal day-to-day transactions, I ask people how they're doing. I say hello, right? But a lot of times I'm met with an attitude in general. I mean, like it's with people who I may be familiar with because they work in the same place and I frequent that place. It's with people I've never seen before in my life, so they can't possibly have anything against me. So why is there a scowl on your face as I'm approaching you and smiling? It's the little things. And I have heard women say that black women have the right to walk around and not smile. Great. If that's how you feel, fine, but it's not winning us any prizes. It's not giving us any leverage. It's not getting us any closer to where we claim we really want to be if we want to play with everybody who's in the sandbox. And my thing is, I'm not saying everybody's got to walk around all hopey, changey, go lucky. Nobody's saying that. I'm just saying if more often than not, in my general interactions with black women, they tend to either be fair or less than that, we can't even get to the point of us having a conversation and disagreeing and that leading to the gender war. We can't even get there.
It's well. So what you're saying is it's from the very beginning of the convo. Is that
Yeah,
it's not something that even has to be warmed up to. Just immediate knee jerk.
exactly. Like, even within the space here, I'm not going to name names, but I've had women come at me, come at my neck, for one reason or another, just because of something I said that they don't agree with. And this is the thing. I don't have an issue with anybody that I disagree with on the internet. We have to keep perspective, number one. And number two, why would I want to join forces or be a sisterhood with people who are so fickle that as soon as you disagree, now you're getting called names and the conversation devolves in ad hominem attacks? And, where is the purpose in that? I'm over here to try to decompress, but I just so happen to be someone who's intellectual. So part of my decompression means having a conversation that's fruitful and leads to some sort of understanding amongst each other. The fact that there's a disagreement does not turn me off from that. In fact, it makes me want to tune in even more because maybe you'll give me a different perspective. But there's a way to do that in a constructive manner, in a ladylike manner.
No, it ain't.
People.
All right,
Man,
snooze kicker.
all right,
Peace,
all
y'all.
right, Rogish. Let me say this real quick. People usually start doing that when they feel as if they're being outsmarted, and 9.5 times out of ten, the person on the other side ain't even thinking about that shit. You know. So I mean, it's okay if all I've ever said was if you are smarter on the topic than I am, then I can only learn from you. You know, I don't feel as if you're making some kind of gigantic ass out of me. I can only make an ass out of myself, and
I
that's
mean,
fact.
how
That's
it's,
a fact.
that's how it's supposed to be. Capital P. Shit.
Yeah.
People don't
So
want to learn though, and that's the sad part because you know what? People don't want to learn because they haven't learned how to learn. So then when they get in the presence of one where it resonates that all right, this person knows what they're speaking of and they're hitting with certain elements of my reality, perhaps maybe they have some experience in this, no matter how little it may be or whatever. They got more experience than me. It's something I can learn. But I don't know. With the advent of feminism, I think so. It's a whole lot harder for women than we give them credit for being able to solution. It's a whole lot harder. Those who ain't got snagged by it got lucky. That's pimping de jour.
yeah. Shout out to Art Install TV in the chat for willing to unlearn what they have learned. That's their biggest problem.
Well put.
And
Uh,
he's right.
Absolutely. He is right about that. I was just saying that earlier, wasn't I, Rogish?
yeah, yeah.
The biggest gift, and thank you, Kev. I'm gonna keep thanking you until I can't thank you no more. Thank you. Because the
You're welcome.
biggest gift I've gotten from the Black Manosphere is understanding that A, I need to unlearn what I have learned, and B, that if I unlearn what I have learned, I share that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's literally mind blowing when you listen to the conversations that are happening here, regardless of whether you agree with everything you hear. But if you just listen to it and peel back the layers and apply it to everything else you've seen in and around you, it starts to make sense. Oh
Right.
my gosh, I've been in an echo chamber all my life, and all these women, when I look around, are alone. There's a connection there.
Is it the resonances of of practicality and logic within not the defaulted sisterhood, maybe not the intention sisterhood? Is it that they're blocked, or is every woman for herself? Is it-
It's okay, you can't have a willingness to learn that which you don't know is learnable. Like I was saying earlier too, if you are ignorant and everybody around you is just as ignorant, what can be done to surmount that? What can be done to combat that? You might interact with or encounter somebody in your day who might be smart and forward thinking, but if your level of comfort are the people around you who are just as ignorant as you, are you likely to follow in those footsteps?
nah, well, yes, you are because
Mm.
it's the resonance that's around. That's why I say it's lucky. You know what I'm saying? For folks who still maintain a certain element of being able to think, practical with things. Because feminism has women thinking unpractical. Because ain't no problem if okay, make men your enemy. I get it. Make us your enemy, but that energy carries over into most other things that aren't connected to us in their life. The children, how they value the children, how they value the value of the children, the education of the children, the development. It's like all of it gets I don't know, reduce to a marginalized element of presence, just so that you know she has her happiness, whatever, however the fuck that's defined,
Mhm.
no matter the cost.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Let
right,
me.
in spite of growth. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Even at
Uh,
her own demise, you know what I'm saying, 400 pounds plus.
yeah.
Hmm.
Hey, let me
And
read this.
growing.
Let me read this super chat. Thank you, Mr. Me Too, for your support once again today. At Rogue One Tax, hashtag support Black Men Media.
Respect, Mr. Me Too.
Mr.
All right.
Me Too.
Got that Trail B tax on there. What do, Brother Bentley?
He
All
was
right.
telling us about hairy legs earlier. I ain't never forgetting that now.
He said,
Thanks a lot, Trell Bentley.
I mean, I don't, but this is the thing. I think the most organic woman in the future, she gonna be the most desired woman because all these fabricated women I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? When you look at into this social media, you don't even know if you're looking at a woman or no more. So I don't even look. You know what I'm saying?
You got filters.
All right,
I
All
mean,
that
yeah.
shit.
Go ahead. Preach.
All,
man,
all
man,
that
look,
shit. Yo,
man,
is this a
look,
real
man.
picture?
No, that's AI, bro.
Oh, okay. I'm
I did,
about to say,
when I
come on, bruh.
when I saw this, I thought it was funny though. I thought it
It
was
is
funny.
funny. It looks like an outtake from Team America World Police.
Oh.
Uh,
Oh. Oh no, I
uh,
can't unsee it. Oh, oh, that's
my,
cold blooded.
DEI done got a hold to the movie, so now they added a black character. Here she go. Here she go.
Hey yo, Matt Trey, he put it in there, y'all. What the fuck?
yeah.
America.
Fuck yeah. I love that movie. I love that soundtrack too. Don't
In
get
the
me
Oh yeah.
second
started.
motherfucking day, yeah.
The the
That
film
was
the Film Actors Guild.
Okay. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Kev.
uh,
Freedom isn't free.
Goes
House of
ahead
Bucko.
fucking feet.
Hmm.
Wait, how
Bucko
much was it?
five.
$1.05.
Man.
$1.05.
Oh,
Packer Woods is crazy.
yeah, they sure are.
They sure
Hey,
are.
man, you know the same ones they're making a movie. Trey Stone and Matt Parker,
Mhm.
or Matt Stone and Trey Parker. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
Is
making a
them
movie.
motherfuckers married?
No,
No, they
no,
just have great chemistry.
Okay.
no idea.
No.
No idea. But they're making a movie about this interracial couple.
Oh wow.
Like guy, the black guy, white girl, black guy works at a museum as a slave reenactor, and
Oh
then
no!
That
Oh
shit is
no!
not going to see the light of day.
Oh
That
and
that that is
see, I
not
ain't
going
even
to see the
finished.
light of day.
I ain't even
What the
finished.
fuck? You gonna make me go kill them motherfuckers? Cause
You
I,
know,
I
and
probably I
no!
probably don't want you to finish.
If they let Robert Downey Jr. play it, it might work.
They better. He the only look. RDJ is the only motherfucker who do blackface. Cause nobody else right now.
Yo.
Cause
no, no,
I
no,
didn't
no,
know it was
no.
him.
It's not blackface. It's an
No, I
actual
know.
black guy. It is
Yeah.
actual black guy.
Yeah.
But the premise of the story is that he finds out that his girlfriend's ancestors own his
Oh man, get
ancestors.
the fuck out of here. These
That's
Packer
gonna be
Woods
fun.
is crazy, man.
Yeah,
What the
man.
fuck? What the
But
fuck?
this is why I said if they get Robert Downey Jr. to play the black guy, it might work because
That'd
we
be the
all
only
know
way.
he's not black, but
Right.
him playing the black guy and we supposed to
It
believe
would
it's a
be
black
funny as
guy,
shit.
that would make it funnier.
It would be funny as shit.
Yeah.
And
Like they
and
gotta reprise that role somehow.
no, unfortunately, it's lost. And everybody loves it, but
You got
Ugh.
because
And then you got big chicks on Facebook complaining about blackface now. So it's,
Oh God.
When the back of their necks is blacker than the back of Forest Whitaker. You know what? I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be
hey,
quiet.
hey, hey, Weather, thank you for the super chat. Why is super scroll on the screen, Kev?
Oh, that's cold blooded, cuz.
Thank you for your support, sir. Thanks for adding that. See what you can get for a super chat. I'll read that motherfucker. Robert Downey. Hey, yeah, Tropic Thunder was one of my favorite films. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah, it was just it was funny to me. It just was. I didn't care about the blackface. The one part that really saved it altogether was the fact that he realized who he was by the end of the film.
bruh,
You know,
bruh. Even
he
if
couldn't fake it no more.
even if he didn't, bruh, I saw that shit on bootleg. So he was already in blackface character. You know what I'm saying? What after the credits, the time up there dancing the shit. I'm like, all right, then this nigga up in here doing nigga show. Yo, this nigga cold, cuz who this? I didn't know it was him until the motherfucker. I'm like, yo,
I didn't either. I didn't know either. It was such a shock to me, and it
Yeah,
made me want to rewatch it right away.
yeah. That's
You mean you
that's a
people?
that's a great fucking actor right there.
Oh yeah.
For
Yeah.
real.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Cause he fool a nigga, and I'm a whole nigga, and I'm nigga Lincoln Osiris. I'm thinking this motherfucker. I'm hearing dominoes playing. I'm hearing phone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was. I don't know who the fuck he followed. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck treated him?
Yeah.
Who was his inspiration behind that? Cause it was spot motherfucking on. For real, have y'all seen the video with him just fucking around with it?
Yeah, I have. I have.
Yo,
Yeah.
you gonna tell yourself, man, this nigga crazy, and you're not
Hmm.
thinking Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Art New Stall. He says the Burning Bed Winch premieres in October. What's that? Am I
Oh
missing
wow,
some?
probably the next
I don't
installment
know.
of Color Purple or some shit, right?
I don't know what premieres in
Yeah,
October.
they're bringing that movie back as a musical. Like it's gonna be released in theaters and everything. They're gonna be singing the black man is oppressing me. Like it's
You went
I
for a
gotta watch.
retard. Went for a retard. You never go. You never go
You
for a
never go
retard.
full retard.
You never go
Okay.
for a retard. You know
Yeah.
what say? He said Dennis Hopper, Raymond. A little bit slow. Yeah, autistic for sure. Retarded. The way that nigga said for sure, he hit that hoe, cuz. He hit that hoe. I'm like, yo, man, this Robert Downey Jr. really need. All right, cuz. All
Yeah.
right.
Bad black gamer said go see Oppenheimer and see if you can find Robert Downey Jr. in it. He's good.
Wow. He plays Oppenheimer.
I mean, he plays a character in the film,
Oh, okay.
apparently. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably not if he's saying see if you can find him in it.
That movie might trigger me.
yeah.
That might.
just like
That movie might trigger me.
Just like Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, I didn't know it was him either.
That was pretty good though. And I don't
Yeah,
even like that guy.
you don't even like Tom Cruise.
No, not a fan.
Yeah.
Why? Because
He
he's one of those guys with little man syndrome. Is that it?
No, he just
he's got a quirk.
yeah, and he seems like it's not even just the Scientology crap. He seems like somebody who has a tick. Like almost like if you were sitting in a room with him, he would probably do like five things that don't have any relation to one another and you think that they're five different people, but it's just him switching in and out of personalities. Like he just seems like it's something really wrong with him.
God damn. All right, then.
Sorry.
I mean, he's been known the kind of guy that is
How
like
you
when
really feel?
when he when he stands next to the leading lady, he gotta get a couple phone books if she's a little bit taller than him.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's a little man. That doesn't bother me, but it
Wait,
just
how
really
tall
does
is
seem
he?
like something wrong
Wait,
with him.
wait, wait. What you mean a little? How tall is he? What you mean a
I
little
think
man?
he's like 5'6" or something like that. 5'7" maybe.
And
Okay, well that
he
ain't
he
that
plays
ain't
like
short.
mostly 5'9", 5'10" roles.
Wait a minute. He
He got
plays.
lifts in his shoes.
He plays the role of five. How the fuck he play five enough out there? That's hilarious. Okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
man. But yeah, he seems like he's a little prick. You know how these start. You know how these Hollywood people are. You know, once they get $700,000 in the bank, that's it. You know, they're gone. They're out of here. You know, you got black entertainers not wanting to interview with the black interviewers.
Yeah.
It's gonna
You know,
make it's gonna make me look bad for my crossover crowd.
it makes
Let
sound
me
like
send that shit for 100 years.
crossover crowd.
Crossover crowd. Pecker Woods, say it, motherfucker. Fuck out of here, man. It's 100 years later. How long radio been out on television and shit? We all understand demographics and how to read that shit. Get the fuck out of here. And they don't. What? Who they catering it for? Asians? Get the fuck out of here. Oh shit! Everybody doing everything for these pilgrims, cuz, and it's like, all right, fuck out of here, man.
Let me
Shout out to
see.
short men. I don't discriminate against short men. Short men know how to get to the nooks and crannies, and they don't get their flowers.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just
I mean,
saying.
What's the cruddy?
I'm gonna say no. I'll say this. I've known some short guys that were players growing up.
Mhm.
They were players.
Oh
They used to get
yeah,
yeah. They
yeah,
used to get all
shit.
the dazzling women that you would probably now see on Instagram. You know,
I had
because
a homie named Los from Louisiana. Troll looking motherfucker. Shouting all that shit, right? But this nigga had a mouthpiece, cuz. And you'll see him with a 10 one week and a 2 the next.
Ooh,
He ain't give a fuck. If they going, they going. Shit. You know what I mean?
said I diversify my portfolio over
he,
here.
he was the first one who I ever heard say, hey man, I like who like me. And you hear that from, you know what I'm saying, cats in the game. And it's like that's just how it goes. You know what I'm saying? It's now if you're lucky, you know what I'm saying, to consistently pull what others would deem as, you know, high number quality or whatever like that, then that's just what it is. It's supposed to be a resonance thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, for average cats, you know what I'm saying, who don't want average chicks, y'all, you don't know what an average chick can grow into. Everybody after, you know what I'm saying,
you can't just rate them
seven,
when
eights, nines, and tens and shit. Say it again.
you just can't rate them when you see them in Walmart with a jogging suit
Fuck,
on.
fuck, nah. You don't
You
know
know,
her. You ain't got to know her. You know what I'm saying? See what her motivations is and all that. If
I
you just
can't know
judging right
everybody.
off of looks right off the bat, you know what I mean?
You know,
Stay out
I,
of Walmart.
Yeah, for real. What you doing in Wally World?
so I better look my best. Like I'm just going to get some bread.
You know what? I have some homies. I remember when that shit first kicked off. Motherfuckers was hollering at Walmart. It was around 2003, wasn't it? 2002, 2003 when the fucking when the Superman started showing up. And motherfuckers be like, yeah, nigga, we get hoes at Walmart. I'm like, nigga, I ain't get no hoes at Walmart. Nigga, we niggas get hoes at Walmart.
Getting
I'm like,
great value at Walmart.
exactly, and you know, okay, so they was playing the law of of, of averages, so you know what I'm saying. Collecting a lot of twos, you eventually end up with a with a
Yeah,
10.
yeah, man. You gotta get that ratio right, cause you know you be fucked up around here trying to look for the one.
I mean, you know, if you're already ascribed towards quality though, so it's like, all right, you know, it just is what it is. Uh, was able to encounter you know what I'm saying, rough around the college chicks, and it's like, nah, well, you know, it's just
Look,
look, women is soft, man. All right,
yeah,
women is soft. Women supposed to be soft because that's where they power at. Not soft for the sake of us. They supposed to be soft for the sake of themselves. And any woman that ain't soft, all right, I ain't saying she hard, but you know what I'm saying, she ain't soft. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, bitch, you still out of pocket. I don't give and I don't do well with that, but they'll be the chicks that they be after, man. And I had my one high school sweetheart wanted to get nothing. My best friend, he had his high school sweetheart. He wanted to get nothing. But we were the only two faithful motherfuckers in the whole group. You know what I'm saying? Holding on to I don't know chivalry of a high schooler.
Man said the man
Where
Weather said the short manosphere because they keep coming up with examples of short celebrities. Let me let me give you a couple of short guys, Lil Jon and Big Boy from Outkast.
Oh yeah, they are short.
yeah,
Ti too.
yeah. Ti talk too much shit for his height, man. For real,
The
he
man said
That's
talk
usually
Miles.
the case.
he talk a lot of shit. I didn't know the nigga was that tall talking that shit. I didn't know. I'm like, nigga, what you know kung fu, cuz, right? That's why nigga be rapping about guns all the time. All these famous little rappers, they little motherfuckers. You know what I'm talking about? And I
Yeah, I
shoot you,
mean
I shoot you.
think about it. They got to, man. If that's the case, they don't want nobody messing with them.
Man, look, little motherfuckers can if they know how to fight, they're the worst ones to fight. If they know
It
how
is
to
what it
fight, shit, them motherfuckers could get in that center of gravity and fuck you up where the center mass is, nigga. Like a motherfucking gun, cuz.
is.
Shit, I'll be scared to fight a little motherfucker cause they ain't finna quit.
Yeah.
They sure ain't.
They ain't finna quit, cuz. For
Well,
real.
you
Like
know it. They done slid between your legs and behind you, and they
you
getting you from.
you gonna
You know
have
what
to
I mean?
kill a motherfucker. So it's like, nah, man, avoid that shit.
I tell you, tear them ankles and kneecaps up.
Right?
For, for real.
How you looking foolish?
Man said Weather said Ti is 5'8". Well, that looks like his average height.
Ti 5'8". All right, so all them niggas that was in the video and all gold everything part two, them niggas must all be like 6'2" and shit. Then if he
Shoot,
5'8".
maybe. I think Jay-Z is like one of the taller rappers.
Ludacris is short as well.
I
Yeah.
thought Ludacris was tall. All right,
Mm-mm.
There's a
They
lot of
all,
kid.
yeah, they all shoot from below to make it look like they're taller. But
yeah, yeah. That's like Hollywood.
hmm
But there's a difference between them and us. They like
Mr. Me Too said I fought a short Mexican dude who wouldn't give in. Nah, cuz. Hey, cuz,
gotta slam that motherfucker.
short motherfuckers don't quit, cuz, and they already got the center of gravity on you. So once it goes from strikes into the grapples and all that shit, then you in trouble, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Now motherfuckers can, you know what I'm saying, get into the ribs, possibly biting or some shit. You don't know if the motherfucker's strong in the legs or whatever. Hey, cuz, nigga,
take you
You
out by
serious,
the
man?
ankles.
you know what I'm saying? But I don't like to fight anyway, though. 'Cause if I'm fighting, you better be ready for death with each one of these blows. God damn it, guard your
Yeah.
temple, nigga.
Yeah, it's almost getting to the point where I'm at that age where I be sore for a few days after something happened. I don't know. Right.
I ain't got nothing to prove, so I'm looking to break your ass down. So guard your joints. You know what I'm saying? Guard all that shit that'll sleep your ass in 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Just I gotta be careful, man. Shoot, these motherfuckers be knowing all that MMA shit now.
Well, that's why you need to train, because that's why they try the chokeholds to the degree of which they do. You know, what I'm saying, to be that MMA training, and but the thing is, in my style, no more popo, I actually have features against that. You know what I'm saying? Because you can tell that they get accustomed to only training in a specific, in that octagon type shit. So if so say you're doing a side kick and shit, they'll be always looking to guard, you know what I'm saying, either their face or something. Well, you can't strike the knee in the octagon. In the octagon.
Yeah. I just want to say that, man. There's certain rules that don't apply like in everyday life.
Exactly.
Shit, you can do north south
Exactly.
elbows all you want.
Man, I'm
Like,
crippling motherfuckers. And dude,
do
any
not mess with me
peckerwood
no more.
who comes in my vicinity dressed like a police with Nan badge on, and you got all that shit, I'm letting you know I'm lighting it up right off the motherfucking bat. And I got things. Please believe.
Motherfucker be trying to fight fair.
Fuck
We gonna
fighting
decide.
fair, man. That's what
We
happened
gonna
in
decide
Florida,
who's the
man.
best by the end of this. Like, no, man.
Shout out to Black Light Revelations, man. He was rocking it. Y'all ever think about it? Them cats always are, what I'm saying, locked and loaded, but in there looking like police and shit. So perhaps maybe, what I'm saying, black people are none the wiser because it's a Peckerwood showing up, and now it's a Peckerwood showing up in, what I'm saying, Merc uniform. So he just blends the fuck in.
Yeah, weather down here lying too short and actually 6'11". No, the fuck he ain't, man.
Man, please.
Could you imagine?
He wouldn't have
That's
that
funny.
voice. He wouldn't have
I
that
mean
voice.
that was preposterous. That was that funny. Wow.
Yeah,
6'11".
6'11". The fuck, bruh.
Who would hybrid put? He put bite, eye gouge, hit the back of the head. You damn skippy. Hit the private parts, knee the head of a ground opponent. Look, I'm letting y'all know it's some grappler Baki shit with me, cuz. You feel me? Guard your
Man, what you gonna do?
eyes, guard your.
What you gonna
It's
do?
nigga,
Graze the chin? You gonna
nigga,
graze the chin to make the brain shake? Like,
bruh, all that, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm piecing you apart. I know that. Look,
Not
I've been
piecing you apart.
studying human anatomy for a very long time. For a very long time. I've been studying martial arts, what I'm saying, for a decent amount of time. Eesh. That's why I don't fight, cuz I can't fight because all I'm gonna do is break your ass apart. And not intentionally, you know what I'm saying, seeking to do harm. That's how this style goes. I ain't gotta have the intention with it. I just shouldn't be the one that you fuck with.
man, said pull the hair too. Like, dude, like some dread heads.
Man,
Like,
pull them up by the back of their head, slam that bitch all the way to the ground. You go
man,
down with it like you slamming an old suitcase.
but I have honor. I only
Shit,
want to talk with the fist and the feet. Like,
nigga, a fight is a death thing. It ain't supposed, you know what I'm saying. It's only for sport if you amongst your tribe, you amongst, you know what I'm saying, loved ones and shit. You know what I'm saying. That's what wrestling is for. But when it comes to fighting, nah, you got the potential of killing me. So I'm gonna, what I'm saying, make sure that my tools, what I'm saying, are ready to respond in kind.
ain't nobody chopping me in the neck. this, we're not getting that far. RPM said, my father taught me kickboxing as a child.
Mm.
Nowadays, I keep my 45 loaded and my 9 twice as loaded.
Yeah. I mean, you need a gun as a tool. I'm just not a fan of guns, man. It's just, I've always seen it as a coward way to take a life because it happens so quickly, so fucking quickly.
Yeah, and it's so final,
Yeah,
especially in Florida.
for sure.
Yeah. But anyway, this gender war roguish.
Yeah,
Have you ever been in the battlefield, man?
yeah.
Have you ever stepped?
Once
Yeah. Have you ever stepped on a landmine? Just
when
motherfucker just start going off on you if you say something.
when I was in D.C. the first time, you know, it's politics city, right? That was my first time encountering chicks with signs with the ankh with a fist in it. And so I was familiar with the ankh, well, I'm saying the symbol of the ankh. But the fist in the ankh, I'm like, what the fuck is that? And they're like, oh, feminism. Oh, they feminists. Feminists, all right. And then you hear them speak. How old was I? I think I was 25. And you hearing them speak, and it was just anti-man. I'm expecting to hear things about, what I'm saying, females and shit. Bitch, y'all some motherfucking feminists. You know what I'm saying? Let's hear your feminism. Let's hear your femininity and your feminism. Cause I ain't know it was, some political shit or whatever. I ain't think. Let's hear what they talking about. And everything is fuck us. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck we do? I mean, and it was, it was, white chicks and shit and black chicks, and I can understand the white chicks and shit because I understand where it come from. But the fact that the sister was out there hard, like what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? So you thinking you could, I'm young, 25, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I could reach you. Maybe I can reach her. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, hey, sister, maybe you ain't think about it like this. You know, I was all, deep on my hotel shit, but, and it was respectable, right? But she wasn't trying to hear none of it. And was just sitting there, just signing. I'm like, what the fuck is this? All right, so, and I saw that it paints us as the figurative boogeyman, and it's like, all right, well, what is it that y'all saying y'all about? At this time, I wasn't knowing that they were, what I'm saying, just basically thieves of the framework of the civil rights movement. I didn't know that, but now, what I'm saying, it's starting to make sense, and it's like, okay, well, the whole thing with gender, you realize, okay, that's a political ploy, because all right, you know, if you're accustomed to being gifted, what I'm saying, heaven, uh, from women, then you understand that when it comes to gender, they know nothing about their gender. They know nothing about themselves. They don't know about their beauty. They don't know about their own. They usually don't know about their own skills. They usually don't know about their own talent. Their own intrinsic worth. That's one of the very first things that you understand, especially when you date beautiful chicks. When you date beautiful women, that's the very first thing that you learn. Oh, she don't really think she pretty. Like, wait a minute though. How can you know what I'm saying? Wait a minute. You really don't think you're pretty. Oh, okay, because it's something that she's been told the entirety of her life. It wasn't something that she created of herself. So it's like when she looked within for it, that's really nothing to see because she didn't have no effort put into it. And you only going to see that what you got the effort put into, but you know, but they'll, hey, society, I guess in the vein of they who be 7, 8, 9, 10s and all that. Uh, give you lemons, you make lemonade or whatever, and they wear their prettiness. What within, they don't feel it. They will put forth the effort to portray it, and okay, well, this is the way it's supposed to look according to all them outside here and everything, but. They don't really never believe it. But now you understand why they don't believe it. So it's like, all right, the whole, feminism. All right, I'm trying to understand how y'all come to understand y'all femininity within it. Does feminism have anything to do with women? Because I'm trying to learn women here. You feel me? I thought I was gonna learn some shit about women. It's like, all right, yeah, let's understand you crazy motherfuckers. And nah, it's I think it's just been largely that's why I say feminism is the coldest form of pimping ever in existence. It shit, capitalism has you going for a particular type of worth. Feminism, it has these women distorting their worth from within in order to see a change of it outside. You know what I'm saying? Because all that, everything gets an accusation of not being right, except what I'm saying, within. And if you ain't looking there, you ain't gonna fix nothing on the motherfucking outside. Not a motherfucking thing. And I'll pause right there. Yeah. Shout
Yeah.
out, Mr. Z.
Okay. We got Chaos Rain up here.
I have a question. Is that a movie or that's just like a skit? I was clicking on looking at it. I always saw something a year ago.
They're gonna actually do a G.I. Jane starring Jada Pinkett Smith. I
Hmm.
just thought the pictures were very humorous, but nah, that's not a movie, sir. Although we will all wish it was.
Y'all
So,
think she was staying
Hmm.
like that?
no, there's actually been a report that she says her hair is starting to grow back. So the whole alopecia narrative, I guess, is just a miracle
She
by
don't need
Jesus
no
Christ.
motherfucking hair. She look alright without it. Goddamn. Be bald, bitch. You alright. Welcome to the club. It's all good.
Does Win whistle off of her scalp? I mean, just want to make sure.
I mean, yo, Dora Maje type shit. You know what I'm saying? She already, look quite fierce. You know what I'm saying in the visage. So,
You mean Dora Milaje?
yeah, my bad. What I say?
Said Dora Milaje. I mean, still, I know what you was talking about.
Yeah, yeah. I'm tired as fuck.
Yeah.
Keep your foot on his neck, Kev.
Oh, here we go, grammar Nazi
Nah,
again.
cause he be trying to short the English language, and it's like, nah, the language exists for a reason. Words mean things.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, but the topic itself is the whole gender war thing. I think we've done a pretty good job with talking about the many facets and how it affected us. I just answer things with common sense and what I believe the right thing is, whether it aligns with what the other person who's asking is, it aligns with the answer they wanted to find or not. I
Mm.
don't tell people things because I feel that as if that's what they want to hear. I tell them because this is what I've observed in my life, and this is what I believe the answer is. If I disagree with any of your philosophies, and that's anybody, that doesn't mean I don't like you.
Oh
You know,
no, no, not at all. Shit, we ain't gotta agree. Let's just effort to achieve an understanding, and maybe possibly we could grow in agreement. You know what I mean?
okay. All right, we got Mr. Me Too up here.
Respect.
Hey, good evening, fellas and lady. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can
Yo,
hear you.
got you, brother.
All right. They want to jump in front of Chaos Rain, but I just wanted to give my well. First of all, hey Kev, thanks for what you're doing, man, and keep putting keeping your foot on their neck. Just being honest. Rogue
Mm-hmm.
One, I'm with you 100%.
Yes, sir.
100%. I like what you say. I get how you feel, and I'm with you, my man. Tell Toya,
Us.
thank you. Keep us making sure we speaking the right words correctly. Salute the Rogue One, Grandma Muse. But anyway, man, I just wanted to come up here and say, man, my quick experience with this gender war stuff this evening, actually.
Yes,
We
sir.
went out to go see this movie. What was that?
Oppenheimer.
Gran Turismo.
Oh,
But
okay.
coming home, stopped at the gas station in the hood, saw this lady and this young dude, couldn't have been no more than 12 years old, 13 years old. He had the gas, he had to register, dealing with the Arab man, counting his cash, making sure that his math is correct. His grandma, I'm assuming, his grandma, she about 60-year-old lady, come up and tell him, let this man go first, talking about me,
Mm-hmm.
interrupting this young kid counting, making sure he get the correct math right at the register. And I'm telling her, go ahead and let him count. Go ahead and let him do what he do.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of said, no, kind of tried to rebut, but I said, go ahead, young man, count. Make sure this man give you correct change. Make sure he doing,
Yes, sir.
just making sure the math is correct.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at her while I'm telling him all of this. She rolling her eyes, batting her eyes, doing all of that old,
Yeah.
you know how they do.
Buckling
And,
the world.
and long story short, it was just, I just seen it firsthand at that moment, how this young man in the presence of this lady, probably his grandma, somebody he respect more than, God at that moment. And she discouraging him, interrupting him from doing proper business.
Right.
And, just it just didn't sit well with me. So I kind of intervened at that moment, and that was just how I looked at that situation. But
Did you
that's all
take
my
your
little
belt?
2 cents.
Did you take your belt off?
Now I ain't take my belt off. I kind of, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of checked the old lady mildly and respectfully. in front of the
Absolutely.
young man to show how, just to give him some kind of example or some kind of rebuttal to any kind of madness he probably be experiencing in his daily day life.
All he
I
does
love
is need
that
to
you
see
did
it.
that.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. That's right.
And
All he
and I
does
Oh
is
love
need
yeah.
to see it.
I love that you call me sweets. Okay, bye.
Nah, but that's all I can. But you deserve that, sweets. We need more women like you, Rogue One. We need more soldiers, generals like you. My bad. And
Respect.
Kev, we need more people out like you to keep spreading this word, man. Y'all keep doing what y'all
Word.
doing. I'm here behind the scenes in the clouds, always just trying to support any way I can. I
It's
mean,
an
I love
honor.
y'all. Keep going,
It's
man.
much love, brother. It's an
Love you
honor.
Much love.
too.
Hey,
Keep on.
that was a lovely story. I'm Dark Lake, guys. I thank you for having me on the show.
Peace.
Yeah. You've been here
Hey,
before.
yeah. Hey, I wanted to ask Toya a question because I really like the story he just told as well, right? And you said, "Oh, that was beautiful," right? But why is it that? Because he said the last thing he said is, "I put her in check mildly and respectfully," right? That's what he said. But
Right.
what the woman was doing wasn't mild or respectful. So why is it that, and I'm not saying you're wrong for thinking that the story was beautiful or thinking how he approached it was the right way, because it was. I agree with you. But why is it that a lot of you black women have this reaction that a woman can violate and be disrespectful however she wants, but a black man is still supposed to react to that in a mild and respectful way?
Well, let me be clear. My pleasure comes from the fact that he approached the situation, no matter how he did it. I was expressing pleasure that he approached it. It wasn't so much in the manner that he approached it. It was just the fact that he had the balls enough to impart some perspective there. Because, like he said, he could probably imagine that their exchanges were much more different when they're in public. But I get your point, and unfortunately, I think that the ick of the gynocracy is such that we have to navigate it in ways that sometimes forsake the way in which we are approached, myself included. Because, for example, I had a conversation, or no, not even a conversation. She didn't even look up at me. I had an instance earlier this week where I had to interact with a black woman behind a cash register. But because she was writing something down, she couldn't be so bothered to look up at me and greet me. So, that's a mild occurrence, but there's been plenty of experiences I've had with black women where they literally just don't have the time of day to be kind to me. And so, for that reason in it itself, you have to understand that that's how thick the gynocracy is, with reference to not even being willing to engage with another person whom is pleasant to you. You don't think you even owe that to anybody because you're not even giving it to yourself. Not making an excuse, but it's kind of where you got to start from.
It's right
Yeah, no,
back
I
to
think
square
that
one.
that makes a lot of sense. Honestly, it does. But I just feel like that's why the gender war should stop, and black men should just stop caring, because of the gynocracy is that deep. It's like there's not going to be any solution.
But that's
It's
the
like
pathology.
no matter what a man confronts, right, righteously, like the guy was just explaining, right? To you, that was a beautiful story, but to another woman, he crossed the line, right? So, oh, that this is my business. Who are you, random man? You know what I mean? You don't need to be telling me what to do or how to react or da 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 da. So it's like the gender war, I think, was about black men um, thinking that there was still some logic within the community, even amongst other black men. So let's have a conversation and debates and try to come up with a solution where we can meet in the middle. But
From
I
what
don't think that's
vantage
going to
point?
work.
From what
Huh?
vantage point do you speak? From what vantage point do you speak of seeing the capacity that black men were operating in within the gender war. Because like I still don't think this has nothing to do with black men. I think that we just been targeted, cuz we just, you know what I'm saying? It's just like anything else.
That's actually what I was going to say, Rogish. This really has nothing to do with y'all. That's why I said earlier the gender war is the sisterhood. It's literally us fighting against each other.
Yeah.
I've said this last year on my channel. I talked about the autophagious element of black women, which is literally doing everything we can to fatten ourselves up only to eat ourselves in the end, because we are the super consumers to you guys so-called super predator. And what we don't realize is that because we are driving you guys away from uh where we are, we will only have ourselves to not only blame but to consume in the end. And that's really what's happening. I have a vision in my head of a black woman on a boat by herself, rowing herself away from land, only to get to the middle of some water and say, I need somebody to direct me back to land. And being so distraught and so stressed, but the only person willing to give her directions back is a black man. This is what I see when I think about the gender war, when I think about the sisterhood, when I think about the plight of the black woman, black girl magic, all of that. This is what I see.
Wow.
That's very interesting that you share that vision, because I just had this very intellectual conversation with a woman about Princella, the Queenmaker. And her pseudoscience is essentially that since they found Lucy's bones and it was a female, to her, that's some sort of evidence that once there were these harmonious communities of females, and then men evolved, used our physical strength to oppress women, destroy those female communities, and then later down the generations, we had a nefarious task or tactic to
That crazy bitch
wait,
is a
hold on one
fucking
sec.
feminist hotep hybrid.
Yeah. Hold on, bro. To construct we had a nefarious tactic to construct the nuclear family in order to further oppress women. And her whole thing is she's trying to get not just black women, but women in general. But she speaks mostly to black women, that they should live on their own, separate from men. And I was bringing up the point that that's going to be disastrous for future black girls and women in the future, because I don't think, and this is no offense to black women or women in general, but I don't think it's safe for a woman to depend on another woman for her survival or safety. Like if my daughter is out somewhere and some crazy person with a machete walks around, I hope she's around some men, not just women. And that's what I was saying, was that her pseudoscience is dangerous for the future generations of black girls, because this is going to make them believe that they can just depend on other women for everything. And that's just a lie. So I really feel like that vision you just shared coincides with that, like deep.
Wow.
I mean, look,
This is
if chicks is following her, if any chick is following her, then that's where she belongs, because she kicks bullshit. Nothing that she says is practical. She mixes up. I'm telling you, she's the epitome of a feminist hotep hybrid. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? She done had two handlers in the motherfucking game, and you know what I'm saying? As I think what bitch just said, a high ranking NOI cat, get the fuck out of there. And you hear what this bitch is saying it, how she's saying it, her delivery, her whole get down, man, fuck out of here. It's bullshit from the jump. But if women are desperate to where they need or they respond to that voice, that particular voice, let her get as many of them bitches as she needs. As many. Use that bitch as a motherfucking filter.
But see, here's the thing that kind of bothers me, and I actually kind of I had debates about her for like 2 weeks straight, and I'm like, I'm just done talking about her. But I know I just contradicted myself just now. But the thing that bothers me about it is that yeah, I disagree with her pseudoscience. I disagree with her logic, everything. But I'm not gonna, I'm not an idiot and I'm not a liar, right? I will say that she's a great orator. I'll say that she has an ability to move people. And it's skills like that
The
that's
bitch was
vital.
under 2 fucking pimps, cousin, the NOI high ranking. That bitch better know how to motherfucking orate.
Right. No, absolutely. And it's a
She
particular skill.
sound like a fucking bottom bitch the whole time. I don't give a fuck what the fuck she says, how the fuck she says it. You listen to her delivery, she sound like a motherfucking bottom bitch. And because
Exactly.
these
But
women ain't understanding the motherfucking game, she can use that bottom bitch shit to hypnotize them with a little bit of the practicality and the knowledge that she done built up from the motherfuckers who laced that old hoe ass bitch. You know what I'm talking about?
no,
All
but
that
wait,
is
wait. What I'm
bottom
saying is this.
bitchism.
No, you're right. But what I'm saying is this, right? Everything you're saying is right, but it still doesn't change the fact that it's a skill. So what I'm saying is this.
That's not a skill.
No, but wait a minute.
Yeah,
What I'm saying is
I
this,
would
right?
posit that she's not a great orator, but that she is a good persuasive speaker because she's
Yeah, I
not
give her that
smart.
much.
She's less than smart.
Okay. Well, whatever it is, right? She has an ability. We can all admit that she has an ability, right? And my thing is, the thing that bothers me is that
How much
the
of
black
ability do she
community.
need
But
talking to
but wait a
women,
minute. But
man?
no. But wait a
You
minute.
hear
Wait a minute.
Derrick Jackson with his old motherfucking monkey ass? You hear what that nigga say? The
No,
bullshit.
what I'm saying is we can all wait. What I'm saying is that we can all agree with. Oh, I mean, we can all disagree with like Derrick Jackson, Princella, everybody who's like doing these bad things. We can all disagree with them. We all do. But what I'm saying is that there's still abilities and skills that these people have that could actually help individuals in the black community, but instead, like they're using those abilities to cause division amongst the community, to pander to like elicit
They
emotional
are
responses out of
gathering
people.
their
You feel me?
flock, bro. They are gathering their flock. Who they attract are of the same quality, right? Now, if anything, again, I think it's good to use these people as some filters, bro. It really because if what they saying is bullshit, and they're getting large amounts of crowds and support and shit, I think that's a good thing because it showed you where the bullshit at, and it showed you how many people was really rocking with bullshit. It showed you what tone the society of man is on.
Yeah, it exposes it. It exposes it. Yeah.
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 Fuck that. I hope that crazy broken bottom bitch blows all the way the fuck up. Shit. Goofy
people,
hoe. Shit. What the fuck?
and people choosing to walk that path is very telling.
Mm-hmm.
And these you got to understand that these are people who are old enough to have that discernment already. It's like how
That part.
are you influencing those people, or are you cultivating a feeling that's already there?
Mm-hmm. And pointing at the black man as a negative as she do so. That bitch ain't
So many,
slick for nothing. She just
there are
found a
so many
new way in
there
there.
are so many black men that find these bitches trusting and then surprised when they fuck up their lives. And um our job is to make sure that black men for the most part are aware of that, and they're not falling for these tricks that some of these bitches can. But based on the information that we have, if we go run into that shit, then we deserve exactly where we're at.
There you go.
Because
Especially
yeah,
in 2023, nigga, we're the future, cuz. Fuck that.
so
It's
but
If
choice
if
you can,
everywhere.
if you can dodge accountability in the face of arrested development, then you can calcify your delusions of stupor.
Absolutely.
Bars.
and it's
Damn. Yeah. No. Yeah.
and it's coming
That's
from all. Oh, go ahead, Toy. Then I'll
that's
see what I
that's
got.
Rock,
that's
rock.
that's what we're seeing. That's literally what we're seeing. We're seeing young women who are suffering from arrested development who have been able to dodge accountability, and as they age, their delusions become calcified. And that's it, it's a never ending cycle. That's why I'm in Texas right now, because I'm breaking that cycle and it has to be done away from it. I know it doesn't look pretty. I know it doesn't look traditional at all. It's unorthodox, but hey, I'm willing to do that.
It's for the health, but the thing is, you understand what there is to preserve. Like these again, I ask this question all the time. How is it these women don't think they spending nothing? How did where does the dulling of that cosmic resonance with that inner cosmic resonance of our connectedness to us like that? Where does that at what point does that start for black women?
Yeah, you got they're trying to be delusional all the way through their 20s and
And
toxic.
beyond, Kev.
How okay, but how okay? Let's take it in anime terms. How can the vessel hold up with that much? You know what I'm saying? Let's say okay, the energy's there, the intent is there, the motive can be there, strong as fuck. Yeah, we're gonna do it. Yeah, but bitch, your
Guys,
vessel ain't built for that.
who's gonna tell him? It's black girl magic, roguish.
God damn, and they can be 500
Honestly,
pounds. You can't
though,
tell them shit.
I think it's because also what kind of played a part in this too is men holding back. Because the thing about it is, a lot of times I feel like, let's say you have a situation where a black woman kind of bucks up at a black man and she's like ready to fight. I feel like she's only ready to fight like that because she's never experienced the true strength of a man. Like, even if a man, like, unless he's a complete psychopath, right? Yeah, a man is still holding back. Like, even if a man decides to do the wrong thing and hit a woman, a man is still holding back his strength. It's not the same type of hit that he would like throw
Hold
to
on,
a guy.
hold on, wait. You said do the wrong thing. No. Don't say do the wrong thing. Do the less preferred thing. It ain't never wrong to hit a motherfucking woman. If she out of motherfucking pocket and deserve to get hit, you better hit that bitch. These bitches, like again, they have the
I don't
power
think
to
that's smart.
kill you. If fuck
I
smart,
no,
you
no,
better
no. I don't
value
think it's
your
smart.
life.
No. Here's why I say it's not smart and why I use the word wrong, because it's a trap, right? The system has it to where it's all these things that's anti-man, right? It's socially unacceptable to hit a woman, right?
You ain't
So the thing
thinking
is
about
that
you ain't thinking about the system. You're thinking about your intrinsic worth. A bitch trying to step on your motherfucking soul or pride or whatever the fuck, right? And that's why I say, as far as with the hitting, it's the less preferred method. But don't say that it's the wrong. Nah,
well,
fuck that.
I'm not saying don't defend yourself. I'm just saying I'm aware that I need to know that there's traps set for me in this society, and I need to know that I have to watch myself and I have to have control of my emotions and faculties, because that's exactly the thing that'll get me locked up or whatever, and that's exactly
Okay,
what the
well,
system
you
wants.
also gotta learn to put a bitch in motherfucking pocket with the mouthpiece, cuz you know what I'm saying? You ain't never broke. What have any of y'all ever broke a bitch down via the mouthpiece? Or do it always got to be the two piece?
All I'm saying is that that delusion that you
Oh
was talking
shit!
about,
Oh shit!
that delusion you was talking about earlier, is because women don't really know what the true strength of man is. That's why that's
Oh,
why, and
they
they
know
know.
it's straight. They know it's straight. That's why they test you. They want you to.
Shit, well, you better break that bitch. It ain't got to be physical. Y'all better break it like if an animal jumped the motherfucker up. Wait a minute, bitch. I'm put you back in your place. Let you know, one, you a woman, right? And you ain't no man. You ain't finna be jump. Who the fuck you think you is jumping at me?
But Dark
Bitch, I
Lake is
kill
right
you.
though. That's exactly why she turns around in that boat and calls a black man, because he's right. And if y'all snatch, your attention, your power, your benevolence away from us, that might garner some change. It might. But unfortunately, the community itself, this so-called sisterhood itself, is so far gone on itself that I don't think that will make that much of a difference.
Yeah.
Sisterhood of failure.
Right.
What's up, bad hombre? What it is?
It's a dark
Toya,
age.
would you say that this originated in the late 60s when black women had joined the feminist movement? Do you think that's the origin of this whole sisterhood thing?
No, I think it happened later, but I think that I think my perspective on it is simply because of when I grew up. Um, I think if you spoke to someone who's older, she might think that it started then. But from my vantage point, I think for black women, I think the point of no return came maybe in the late 80s, early 90s when you started giving us a platform to bemoan black men.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
It's hard to pinpoint because it's like there was a time pertaining to our consciousness, like as entities in communities, that we were black people. We weren't black women and black men. So in my mind, I always thought that the division came when white women started gaining momentum, and so they needed black women for more momentum for their like feminist movement and their political gains. So then that's when black women started seeing themselves as women first before they were black. And then that sort of what evolved from that was this whole sisterhood thing. We need to trust each other more than we trust men. And we need to have these rules that we apply to men, but don't apply to ourselves. And I'm not saying that women weren't supposed to like, you know, have their own like camaraderie amongst each other. That's not what I'm saying. But I've always been kind of baffled at like a little confused at like where that division actually started, like where it came from.
The thing is,
Well,
the attachment wasn't never solidified because we were a growing people. We were a developing people. We were, you know what I'm saying? We're constantly under motherfucking duress, constantly under sabotage and all this shit. And we still haven't gotten to the point to where we've been able to, you know what I'm saying, expand ourselves culturally or whatever. We were still learning ourselves and learning one another. So with all when with the insert of all this sabotage from other people, it's not just on black men and black women. You know what I'm saying? Because it'd be different if it was just we were our own problems. We're not. You know what I'm saying? The society fights against our coagulation, our creating a collective of not only family but community. Even I mean, it'd be different if they. All right, I understand you want us to be a nation within a nation. They won't even let us even have fucking peaceful communities, cuz. You know what I'm talking about? So
man, let me tell you. Let me tell you
I
something.
think it's. Oh,
Let
wait,
me,
my
go
bad.
ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead, Pete.
let me tell you something, man. If we want to pinpoint it to where they receive platforms, definitely the color purple. I can narrow it down to one scene when Mr.
They're
Daddy.
remaking that, bro.
Yeah, we already said that it's gonna be a musical, so they can put song and dance with it now. But I'll narrow it down to one scene in the film where, as poorly as like Suge Avery was as a character, how she berated Sally, how
Mm-hmm.
she down, you know, Mister was a horrible person. We know that, but when Mister's father started talking like real poorly about Suge Avery and
Mm-hmm.
Sealy spitting the man's water.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
like it's no matter how poor
Yeah.
in character, there was
Yeah.
always that sisterhood.
Yeah. Mm.
If it wasn't because of that film and everything it brought, it definitely planted the seed for some stuff. Now
Yeah.
shout out to Season Life and Greg. I see y'all down there. Thanks for
Do
stopping
you all
by.
understand why they had to make that movie The Color Purple?
To divide black people, black men and black women, make them think that washing dishes and cooking was slavery.
Yeah.
That's why hood chicks can't fry chicken. Somebody said it in the chat.
To
I don't
dark
think.
to Dark Lake's point, I think it would be, to me, I think the whole seed was planted back then in the 60s or maybe even the 50s with reference to black women being the first line of defense for women going into feminism. But I think that in order for it to have taken the way that it has, it took some years. And at that time, you still had the majority of black women who were still family oriented versus self oriented. Like I think it was like a sleeper cell kind of thing.
Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
It makes yeah, because it makes sense that with if you look at it from an element of interacting with trace amounts to eventually, you know what I'm saying, coming to a culmination of this being within the system through the trace amounts, you know. I think it was just a perfect concoction because this is the issue. It's clear distortion of one's inner worth. Okay, like take the issue with abortion. The fact that is didn't seem like something to have to, you know what I'm saying, debate about with women. No, it's our body, we should do what we want to do. Wait a minute. We made the baby, bitch. Okay? What the yeah, your body, but wait a minute, we made the baby. So you still got, you know, if we're gonna do it like that, then all right, you got half my property. So what we going to do? You know, I mean, the instant you get in such a predicament to where that which you say you're going to create a family, and the family's supposed to be something that you love, creating legacy and all this. Yeah, but it gets commodified unto, you know what I'm saying, the two parties, if you will, just through feminism. It distorts the way that they value the entirety of reality, and they think it just, you know what I'm saying, oh, well, we get these men right how we want them to get them right, everything be right. But wait a minute, you're distorting your worth, the worth of the children, the worth of how you are to contribute to a family, society, right? I mean, because now everything is hoe. What the fuck is everything hoe for, bitch? If you was going for all this value in the motherfucking beginning, why the fuck is all this pussy on the chain wax? You bitches was fighting for all the fucking positions. For anything you can do, I can do better. All right, bitch, y'all up there, you know, scientists and all that shit, making good money and all that shit. What the fuck is all this hoe shit then? We don't want to be objectified unless we objectifying ourselves. All right, but that still make you objectified into an objective society that already has measures of measuring that. Hoe. You stanky motherfucking funky hoes. All y'all did, that's all y'all wanted to be was just hoes. That's it. Where the
If I could
feminists
say
at?
something, if I could say something really quickly, I personally believe all this started not in the '60s, but in slavery days. Because if we're
Yeah.
going to be honest, we were never brought here to be together. We were brought here, the men to build and the women to breed. And we didn't know each other from a can of paint. But we was forced to be together by the oppressor. And you
But
can
wait a
still
minute,
see that
bro.
dynamic in 2023 because a lot of our sisters don't want to step in on any toes, but a lot of our sisters are just breeding. They're not making starting families. They're just
Yeah.
breeding. And we got to
Yeah.
be honest with this.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but bro, that's true. But during slavery, there were still slaves who were like secretly getting married on the plantation.
But do we know why they were getting married?
There were slaves who actually fell in love with each other, believe it or not.
How can you love somebody under that system? Seriously.
How can you not? Wait a minute. You
How,
got to remember
how
though.
can you not?
Wait a minute. Wait a
Human
minute.
condition. That's a basic human
Yeah, that's
need.
human, bro. That you got to understand. So, and on top of that, everything they was getting the raw Christianity aspect of it. So, you got to remember it's and tortured. You got to. How could you not? Cause you're gonna a soft woman. You know what I'm saying? Willing to show you some love and some form of affection and warmth
Hey, honestly, they
and all
probably was
that.
fucking better than when we fucking died. That's all I
Nigga,
gotta say.
you ain't turning that down because you in hell. And she's saying
Exactly.
she's saying she'll be your angel. Nigga. You ain't turning that down.
Not
Because
that kind of
we
companionship. Not
So
at all.
if what you all are saying is true, in 2023, why are we where we're at then? If what you all are saying is true,
Where we
Because
that
at?
of
it
why
was
we're
love, Because if it was really love back in slavery days, the 60s never would have happened. Feminism and black women would have been like oil and water. Them two things never would have mixed.
Right. But you're
So
right. You're right.
how do you erase all that and say, okay, well, yes, we did love each other in slavery days?
No.
Because, bro, the thing about it is humans react to. There's a book called Simulacra and Simulation written by Jean Baudrillard, and it was actually featured in The Matrix. And simulacra essentially is when you have when you copy something and then you create patterns and systems around the copy, and then the masses of people like us on the panel follow those patterns and systems, thinking it was the original the whole time when it was not. But in our reality, the patterns and systems are like propaganda that they create around the copy of the original. So for generations, people have always been moved by propaganda, by rhetoric. That's exactly what Hitler did, right? It's like propaganda and symbolism. That is what is involved in simulacra and simulation. So you could actually move an entire people's consciousness or train of thought by constant propaganda that's projected to them on a subconscious level. So people can be moved and changed in a lot of different ways. I'll just say this real quick. Colors have temperatures on them, right? They don't have to be hooked up to any electronics, but every color has a temperature. Okay, so the powers that be that create these brands like these franchises like McDonald's, they do the psychological research already. They know the psychology of man, so they know that when you come across certain colors, your body is consuming the temperature that exudes off of that color. So when they blend the high red and the high yellow colors of the McDonald's symbols, and you come across that sign on the billboard on the off the freeway or whatever, your body is consuming that temperature, and then what's happening is you're getting a chemical reaction within your body that is signifying to you that you're hungry. So then, oh, you know what? I need to get off this exit and go to McDonald's.
Okay, now hold up.
And
Link
so-
link that. You brought up the slave thing. Wait a minute. You got to link that.
I'm sorry?
Ended up with McDonald's, cuz. All right. So we weren't saying that we did love each other on the plantation. We were saying that it was possible. We're not saying that was the state of, you know what I'm saying, black relationships, you know what I'm saying, the black relationships that were, you know, present on the plantation. It's just that, no, it has to be possible if you're dealing with a people, one, who is tied into such an emotional connection to reality, right? Largely, you know what I'm saying, emotional. And again, a torturous hell. So, and, you know, the human thing, no matter what color they was or whatever it was, the human thing is to connect like that. That's just, you know, that's just the polarization of humans.
It's to form an allegiance out of alliance, right?
Yeah.
We weren't all from the same tribe, but we had to form an allegiance out of alliance. We knew that we were all on the same side with reference to how we were being treated and how to get those basic human needs met. We could do it with each other. And so when you start to introduce little variables like what we're saying here, like, and also in the chat, like propaganda and things that take away from that allegiance, then you start to question each other. You start to point the finger at one another, and all of that gets eaten away. And that's why we're here in 2023 having this conversation.
And can I please
You
read
need to erase
Art
all of
New-
this.
Well, hold on. Can I please read Art New Styles TV? He said that wasn't love as much as codependence. Come on, fellas. And I have a problem with that statement because
That's what I said.
no, but because it implies that. See, here's the thing: there was already propaganda to disassociate these black people from humanity, which then justified them having them as property. Like white scientists were saying, they were comparing us to primates using skull sizes and whatever to justify us being primates. And what's one way that you can disassociate someone from humanity is to say that they're not capable of feeling what a human could feel. And love is one of those things. So even even in under the condition of slavery, black people were falling in love and black people were secretly getting married during them times.
I don't let the pilgrim define what love is. I don't give a fuck if we was doing it. Ain't nobody doing it behind these motherfucking pilgrims. These evil motherfuckers can't tell a motherfucker what love is. It ain't, wait a minute.
It's one of the most. It's one of the most primal things you can do as a man and a woman.
Yes.
Yeah,
As a hold up, as that's what all living species do. Wait a minute, we're a fellow living thing upon this world, and they
absolutely.
yeah.
Let me read this. Let me read this super chat from Sun is Hot Raw. Thank you for your support once again. Throughout the times that we've all had, we were two or more wearing tribes that got brought to the West by the WS, and maybe that's the root of why we can't get along. We was never meant to.
I mean, well, look, I've always wondered, when you get the understanding of what tribalism is, it's like, all right then, the whole skin color thing. Wait a minute, my mic just messed up. Hold on, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, but let me read Mr. Me Too real quick, saying respectfully, thank you for the super chat. He said respectfully, love don't build nations.
Yeah, but we're not talking about nations. We're talking about slavery.
Right. Right. I think it's important to recognize the fact that, when you bear it down to its brass tacks, we were human beings that were trying to survive. And one thing Black people are always going to do is find joy. No matter what we find ourselves in, we are going to find joy.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Through the pain.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? all them love songs wasn't just only about, romantic love. You know what I'm saying? Some of it was whole soulful aspect of it. So I think that's part of our resilience, you know what I'm saying? Hence, the people of the laughing barrels, you feel me?
I swear to God, as soon as you said that, I was just picturing it. That's wild, because I was just about to say, when you think about the story of how we started laughing in barrels and why we disperse when something's funny.
Yeah. Break. Bust out laughing, all in one. And you know what? That's the trip. We be in groups, right? And it's just, I used to think that was just so funny. That's just what everybody do. Nah, it's ingrained with us, just like, woo! That police shit, you know what I'm saying? It's epigenetic. Oh, wait a minute, we too loud, we having too much joy. Everybody break, scatter Naruto style, cuz. Yo, we should get reparations. We should get reparations just for that, cuz, for real.
I mean, seriously, when you think about the fact that we had to hide our joy by laughing into barrels, and that we had to break away from each other in order to laugh so that it wasn't seen as a congregation of laughter. But yet we can still find joy in that today.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that about slavery, that the slaves used to laugh in barrels so that like the overseers wouldn't hear them.
That's where you get barrel of laughs from. Yes.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's like hush puppies. Everybody eat hush puppies now. That's part of our culture. But they, you know what I'm saying? Hey, nigga, give me some more hush puppies and fries and fish.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing. That's why I think that the gentleman who was asking that question, well, if we were in love back then, how could Black women accept feminist movement? And how could we all not be connected today? But I just think that question is, it's because a lot of people think of slavery, they just think it in a physical manner. But it was highly psychological, and those things went down the generations. And so if your entire psychology is altered, right, where, your perspective of things is going to change if you can't even laugh out loud in fear of retribution from that, right? And everybody who looks like you is on the same plantation and they have the same conscious idea that, oh my God, if I laugh out loud or if we're all laughing together, there's going to be hell to pay, right? And then that you have they have babies and they have babies and they have babies and they have all that same idea, then you're going to be a people who have a different type of consciousness and subliminal train of thought than any other people around you in the same nation.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's highly probable that we could be in love during slavery, and then through propaganda and all this altered psychology, that we could change throughout the times. That's what I was trying to explain to him about that book, Simulacra and Simulation.
Right.
And think about what you just explained as being the layer before you even get to the gynocracy.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
All right. I want to say hi to Mahogany Roots and MJ in the chat, and
Hey,
Princess
Mahogany.
Peace,
and
peace.
Princess C. He was also here. Art Newstall asked, "I need everyone on the panel to define what does love mean. I'm curious.
Well, I got a definition.
Go ahead."
Something that I had to learn because I didn't. I never really liked hearing it. Never liked saying it because it didn't make sense to me younger. If I don't understand it, if I don't know a word, I don't really say it, y'all. For real. If I don't know how to spell it, you're not gonna hear me say it. You know all that shit. Love was one of those things. I never really liked saying love because I couldn't understand it. Watching everybody and trying to understand what they teaching me, what they supposed to be teaching, what love is, church, school, whatever. And then, but you see what make you feel the lack of love. You know what I'm saying? What they say was the opposite of love. All right, so love, hate, love, hate. All right, well, if y'all can't identify the hate, and that's the very first thing, you know what I'm saying? If you're black, then that's one of the first things you got to be able, it's easy going to be able to identify within black people if they can identify hate, real hate. I'm not going to believe you can identify love then. I'm not going to believe that you know how to really operate in love uh, intentionally, aware of it, possibly on a happenstance, on a already established resonance or something like that, maybe unbeknownst to the person, but you really know it. So my definition of love became something that I call mi Jesus. My I is us. It was something that I thought about when my ex-wife asked me. She know how I am with words, so she was going through it with love, the word, and she asked me to come over with something. And I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, well, when I think about love, okay, the love I'm connected to, us, we, so I'm always speaking of, me and my wife, what I'm saying? Even, when she wasn't around and, conversation with folks and shit, you're presenting yourself as a we. You never really present yourself as an I if you're in like a real union and shit, right? And so it's like, all right, mi Jesus, my I is us. My I has become a us thing. You know what I'm saying? And that has to be what love is. You know what I'm saying? I guess maybe a start, but I don't know fully, you know what I'm saying, still fleshing that out. But I think is, what I'm saying, there's a whole lot more than what they put in the dictionary, nigga. Shit.
It's the most genuine concern that you have for a person, another living being that you care about.
That's a dictionary
No, it's not a
definition.
dictionary. I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
looked up. I haven't looked up anything. This is
That's what's
something
up.
that
Yes, sir.
this is me doing my best to define what love became, even through slavery. I mean, you recognize someone that can make you feel greater than what you are, and I feel like at our our most basic instincts. I mean, no pun intended. I think we understand that to a certain degree. When you see something that, when you see what it produces, a little one that looks just like you, and
Right.
is that you feel a connection with, and not wanting anything at all to happen to that. Not wanting them to go through the horrors that you went through. Love is not just about your significant other. It's about all of those that you bring into your life. You know,
That's what's up.
a willing burden, and for the pain and suffering that our people went through during those times, and to have something good come out of it. Whether it's slavery or not, I mean, it had to come from somewhere. I mean, or we wouldn't be in some of the spots we are today. Um, about the survival and the necessity, I believe that existed too. Survival and necessity, but I mean, feeling came out of a lot of that shit, and
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing that we have to understand. And which is key to our survival in the future. Not that slavery is, slavery can be the example, not like we're in slavery now, because I know how smug some people can get. But, you can't deny nature. You can't, or we wouldn't be living like that today. It had to exist in some form back then in order for it to get to where it is today.
Right.
Yeah. So I understand that, you know, we, we always, it always goes back to what happened during slavery, how we couldn't protect anyone. And there's a large amount of guilt from a lot of black men for that, whether
Shit.
it's undeserved and unwarranted or not. You
Well,
know?
that's one of the first things that Cass got to absolve himself of, for real talk, because again, we did not exist in the vacuum, and those of us who were born into the reality of the past or the future of that past, we it was veiled to us. So I mean, there's a lot of factors involved. I mean, you're dealing with an international international trade with multiple countries involved. I understand that folks like to just put it all on the pilgrims and shit. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You know what I'm saying? My beef with these pilgrims ain't slavery. My beef with the pilgrims is after slavery. Wait a minute. Once the slate was cleared and I could judge everybody objectively, okay, instantly started fucking up. As far as I'm concerned with slavery, kill them. They'll kill you. I'm gonna fuck, kill them. You want to be a slave? Kill them. This is Earth. We come from places where if we Africans and all that shit. All right, we came from places where what motherfuckers were doing what? Killing. You know what I'm saying? But just the most simplest motherfucking thing, right? And everybody want to feel bad about it now and everything. Oh, bring out religion or some shit. Hey, wait a minute. Everything else killed. You know what I'm saying? To defend. All right, humans can't do it. We can't. All right, whatever. Slave, but no. Fuck that.
I'd like to
Kill these motherfuckers.
take a stab at
Oh yeah.
defining it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Told you. But
So I'm gonna keep it simple because I don't think it has anything to do with another person. I think you define love as persistence despite resistance. You know, love is love is something that persists despite any resistance from anything, anyone, any circumstance. You have a love for something that you do that no matter what, somebody can't take you away from it. That's love. We can express that on other people, but we can also express that in the things that we do. And so that's why I just think it's persistence despite resistance.
I think, if I may, I think what you just said, Toya, is true, but it's very hard for me to accept that answer in reference to people. And what I mean is persistence despite resistance.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have the opposite gender resisting the way that a man is supposed to love, I don't think it's smart to constantly persist. But
No,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I agree with you. But when was the last time you had a choice in the matter? That's my point. The love persists regardless of what resists it. Will it dissipate eventually? Sure. But was it love? Absolutely.
And that's interesting.
all right. All right. Thanks, Toya. Chaos Rain. You wanna take a stab at it? You're probably working on there on something. And I also want to take time to thank Greg for the Cash App. Really appreciate it. I don't know if I thanked him yet, but just in case I didn't, really appreciate the support from all of you, especially from you on the panel. Let me see if there's any comments that jump out because this is getting pretty late, and I understand that you guys have many various tasks to do during the week. Like some of you have to go to work and everything, so probably it's time to wrap this up.
You mind if I answer the question real quick?
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It'll be real quick. Was it Art Nostyle TV? I think love is uh, a process of creating something beautiful. So, for example, when you're learning how to play the guitar, um, it sucks at first, those first like 3 weeks or a month or so that you're practicing because it hurts your fingers, right? Like you are creating, like it sucks. Like you are, the whole point is for you to press your fingers on the strings to develop calluses on your fingertips so that you could properly press down on the certain chords to make a beautiful sound. But when you are, first trying it, it's almost impossible to make a beautiful sound from the guitar because you haven't developed the calluses yet. Um, and when you are in that process of developing the calluses on your fingers, it hurts bad. But when the calluses form finally after 3 weeks or a month or so, you could properly press down on the strings and form the correct chords. And that's what makes the beautiful sound that comes from the guitar. And I just compare that to life in reference to what love is. And my main problem with the Black community and just society in general is that that process of feeling pain when you are trying to practice something in life or relationships or whatever is like people don't understand the process of feeling the pain, of pressing their, metaphorically speaking, pressing their fingers down on the guitar in order to make something beautiful come out of that later. That's what I think love is.
You know what? You can cut that process in half if you do a little bit of iron palm training at the same time.
No cheats, no cheats.
You got some good, you know what I'm saying, finger strikes in there too. Definitely deaden them. But yo, shout out, man. Yo, salute to anybody who can play the guitar, man. That shit is hard. Too much pressure.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta be delicate, boy.
Yeah, Art New Style says when you get past the desire and affection stuff, love is an umbrella, trust, security, and sacrifice. We had those principles which were stripped, all the while making slavery the force that it was.
Mm.
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 Wow.
Like I said, we're still learning. That's the, I mean, you know what I'm saying, and we measure ourselves against everybody else who got all this fucking foundation, and we don't have none of that. We measure ourselves against these fucks, and it's like, all right, y'all, come on now, let's make our own lane now. Just yay this motherfucker. On that note, I holler at y'all. Appreciate the shopping.
Hey, God bless. And I just want to second that. And I'm a bounce too. I just want to second what he said, which is basically we're all still learning. I feel like we need to give each other grace. Like, it should be fine that we don't understand a lot of these concepts yet. You know, it should be fine that we can't get relationships right perfectly. It should be fine that we're still that we have to rediscover gender roles. Why does everybody have to be so perfect and know all the answers right away? We can't just experience trial and error, you know, as we move on. And yeah, I'll just end with that. Thank you so much for having me on the show, Toya, Chaos, everybody. God bless you guys. Peace.
Shout out
All
to
right.
you.
All right. Good to see you again, brother. Okay, Toya.
We used to be a proper country. That's why. You know, we used to be sophisticated. I remember growing up and learning about things in social studies class that made me feel proud to be an American, and growing up and wanting to be a contributing member of society and uphold its values and systems because it was something to be proud of. I remember feeling like that, only to grow up and be so cynical and jaded by everything that I've been shown and continue to see in terms of the development of our society. Um, but I'm really glad that I can come here on YouTube and chat with some like-minded folks. And Kev, you give us a great platform to be able to have these discussions, and I really appreciate you.
Okay, I appreciate you as well. You know, without you guys, there's no me. Seriously, I know that sounds a little sappy, but it really is the truth. You know, I have tons more reason to do this kind of thing to continue. So I really appreciate that coming from Toya and coming from anyone else. It really does mean something. Chaos Rain. Anything you wanted to say before we wrap this up?
No, not really.
Okay. All right. That's Chaos Reign. It's pretty short and to the point, and that is much appreciated. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. One day we'll end the madness, but understand this: the people who are really pushing it, if you are really going to be honest with yourselves, need this gender war to be in place. They need it. You know, I usually strive to be the content creator that doesn't need it, whether people agree with that or not. You're free to. Um, so that's pretty much it. Something I wish wasn't around. I definitely wish there was another way. I'm just like I said in the other broadcast. I'm Mister Let the Good Times Roll. I'd rather see us having a good time than not having a good time because we know where that leads. In many instances. So that's it. Tomorrow night. Haven't thought of the show's topic yet, but drop a comment in the comment section if you have an idea or a request, especially if you're a member too. You could, anybody at any point, you can always become a member of the channel just by hitting that join button, and it'll be much appreciated. You'll be part of a growing list of people. So um, that's it. The casualties of the gender war. This smoke show Sunday is now in the books. Uh, Thank you everyone for stopping by, and especially to you guys in the chat and the Cash App from Greg and the super chats from Mr. Me Too, Weather, Sun is Hot, Raw, and Rogish. You guys are appreciated. So anyway, that's it for now. Long live the habitual line steppers. In Kev, we trust. We you don't give up. You can definitely win this motherfucker. So enjoy your weeks. Hope it brings you prosperity and promotion in whatever you do. So see you guys tomorrow night. Peace out. Well, technically tonight. So peace out.